Yes.
Hello, 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 everybody. Did you miss me? Because I'm pretty sure we all missed you. I am here with my lovely players. Say hello, lovely players.
Hello.
I don't know about lovely, but we are here. Hello.
Well, I adore you guys. So, that counts. Let me transition. There we are. Hello! It's me! And I suddenly have a square on my head. I don't know why it's loading now, but it is.
I think that's Throne.
God fucking damn it, Throne. Why? Why? Why would you do this to me?
The slander right off the
The
bat.
slander, yeah. Oh, man. I've had the most interesting, long as fuck day. So it's nice to just be able to chill with people. Also, I don't know why your stats have disappeared. There we go. Now it's fixed.
I'm sorry, we're chill.
Comparatively. I nearly lost my shit
just
earlier. Like, I
I'm not
legit...
doing my job right now.
I don't know, you gave me Theala. Like... Don't get me wrong, I adore Theala, but you have to admit, those stats fucking hurt.
Look, they're a normie.
Yeah, yeah, that'll do it.
They're a normie, but also everything but.
They're the stats of they're the stats of someone who really enjoys role playing.
Listen. I
embrace the
respect.
roleplay part.
I respect.
Yeah.
But also, fuck
Yes.
you.
Listen, my dice rolled bad and I went with it.
I know. I respect it, like I said.
I admire the commitment.
Yeah.
I was gonna say I admire the commitment to stick with the stats and not be like,
Yeah.
can I just like, re-roll that? It's like that's kind of bad.
It's character building. Anyway.
Literally. Just a
Oh my
quick
gosh.
check that everyone can hear me and my players and the music. I'm hoping that all three of them are active. I don't know if anyone's. I've got my thing turned off. I've got my viewer count turned up, so I don't know who the fuck is here. So, although to be fair, I don't ever know.
Yeah, but we can hear everyone.
Brilliant.
Like I could hear people.
Absolutely brilliant. Thank you. So yeah.
Awesome. I keep doing that where I've been on stream and then I think it was my last stream, which is like a Dead by Daylight one. Because I was doing stuff with PNG Tuber like showcasing, I muted my mic in OBS so then I could do the like mouth movement and like I played almost an entire game and all they had was Rip's audio responding to me. I was like,
Oh no.
I have been there. I've been there.
Funny.
It's fucking
It was, like,
exhausting.
I mean, the first like 10 to 15 minutes is just like one-sided conversation, and I was like, that's actually kind of funny though. we can laugh about it now.
I hope you're all excited for tonight. I have some very interesting things planned for you. Whether or not we get to those interesting things is entirely up to you.
Nervous but excited.
But
Oh no, don't leave it up to us.
We
When
immediately-
When Sparrow
We're
says she has
bad at
interesting things planned, that means
We are
we're gonna
accidentally
suffer.
But you'll be happy about
Get
it.
all.
It means we're gonna get sidetracked for 3 hours by
You
shipping
will
commodities.
suffer and you will enjoy it.
We're gonna meet 2 new NPCs, and it's just gonna be Umbra trying to romance them for like the next hour.
Yeah.
Bet.
You meet
This is
two
so Vinny failed.
hot male NPCs, but they want to kill you.
Umbra. Would.
Oh god.
Yeah, I can't imagine that would deter them.
No.
No.
Really wouldn't. I don't think so.
Umbra's just a little rambunctious scamp, and I love him.
Listen. I say this with the utmost respect, but like Umbra is in his a metamorphosis. That's what I called it.
Metamorphosis, yes. He
God.
is, and I love it. 'Cause I've never played a character like Umbra before, so it's just so much fun to be like, oh yeah.
Oh, you've never played a fuckboy before?
No, well, I did once in my very first ever D&D thing, and he died immediately, so I didn't do it for a long while. So Umbra's like my second attempt at trying to play one. And I'm enjoying it a lot.
Jesper, you were gonna say something? I'm sorry.
Have to die?
Jesper? Did you say something? Like, everyone was talking and I thought I heard you say something.
Oh, Peachy was saying about how his fuckboy character died almost immediately, and I said,
Ah.
He had like a really fluffy like coat and everything. He was beautiful. I have to find the image.
the fuckboy
Basically,
coat.
I was gonna say, I think about it, and low key for like he was like beta Asterion before Asterion even existed, because I made it in
Don't
like,
tell me this,
2020,
please.
like very early 2020.
Listen, okay, I want it known that I was not the first person to bring up Astarion, okay? I need that to be known, because that's now... That's now a thing, by the way.
My fault. Yeah, I put you on blast.
Oh god.
It took 3 hours.
Took 3 hours, and then the fucking next night, it took about 3 hours too. I'm like, fuck.
I'm infected with your brain of thinking like, how long can you learn? But to be honest, for me and my interest, it takes less than 3 hours. So I'm impressed that it actually took 3 hours for you to be like,
listen, I needed... I was dealing with the fact that I have an unhealthy obsession with his voice right now. And like, and it's not even like a creepy one. It's such a perfect cadence. And I'm like, how the fuck do you get your voice to sound that smooth? And it makes like all the hair on the back of my neck stand up. It's really great. Like I have that thing, like, you know, when certain sounds just make your entire body do the tingle, like the happy tingle, not the sexual tingle, the happy tingle.
The
ASMR. Yeah. So that's what his voice does to me. So I'm just like, okay. And then add to the fact that for some reason my brain has latched on to the fact that I know it's never going to happen, don't get me wrong, I know it's never going to happen, but statistically it is possible that a clip of me getting absolutely like blushing because Astarion flirted with me in character in game is going to appear on Neil Newborn's fucking page. Like, I don't need that, man. I don't need him to see me short circuit because his character fucking called me a delicious treat. I'm like, no, I can't.
He knows what he's
Stop
doing.
tempting fate. Stop.
Yes,
Don't tempt fate.
Don't underestimate the power of your own chat. They will.
Listen, I want to at some point, I can't afford it at the moment, but I want to at some point get a cameo from him in Astarion's voice, if only to hear my own name in Astarion's voice. And like...
You're playing with fire there.
I feel like that's gonna... I'm gonna suffer, but...
You're gonna be very happy.
Oh. My net is going a bit weird, by the way, so if we suddenly lose connection, please do let me know.
Will do.
Also, that is such a you character. Holy shit.
Yet another blueprint for Umbra.
Yeah.
The immediate twink identified.
It's so fucking fitting there.
Draw this guy. I don't know if I still have the character sheet for him, but I'd have to remake it.
Okay, now we've got StreamAiders fucking up. There we go. Jesus. Been trying to get it this whole time, and I'm like, fucking... Load, please. By the way, if anybody here is in chat but it's not in my Discord, you are missing out because during the session and sometimes in between sessions, we have a D&D shitpost channel in which members of the cast, I guess that's what you are, the members of the cast will be shitposting throughout the game. Shitposting is so much fun, and it's so good that I don't... Like, if I don't see it, I don't get, like, my flow kind of broken. Sidetracked, yeah. I'm so easily sidetracked. Holy shit. So do feel free to join.
You should really mute that channel during...
I need to, Jesus Christ. But some of them are so funny, and like, it's when you guys are doing your RP that I'm just like, well, I have a few minutes. I can see the shitpost channel. And then I regret it immediately because I'm the only one on fucking camera. So I have to like corpse it through, like don't fucking react.
Bearer of the curse. Bearer of the curse.
Oh man. It's just ridiculous.
We have fun.
I'm still waiting for Stream Raiders to load. It reinstalled. So I'm just like, why?
Oh dear.
Why are you doing this to me? Bye.
Fun.
Multitasking. Yeah. But yeah, I'm looking forward to tonight. Although I'm also like nervous that I'm not gonna do it the way I want my brain to do it, if that makes sense. Like I have an idea of what I want to happen at the moment and the way I want things to be described, as it were. But I don't know if I'm gonna be able to do that. I'm fucking tired, man. Ah! Blood!
Oh,
Thank you so much for the raid! Hello, lovely! Welcome in! How was your stream? Can you do a shout out for me, PG?
I am
Sorry,
doing it right
Sarah.
now.
I don't know why my brain just defaulted to PG. I'm very sorry. Ah.
It was my old moniker, so like.
Hello, lovely. Welcome in. How you doing? How was stream? I hope it was good. I can see that you were playing Baldur's Gate 3. And you've just missed me. Missed me simping over Asterion. As usual.
You mean insert TOS friendly wording?
Oh yes, yes.
Yeah.
Fangirling. I was fangirling. That's allowed.
Shrimping. Actually, you can actually say simp as long as it's not in a term towards like I don't know, like someone in chat.
A derogatory one.
I'm pretty sure you can.
I wouldn't
yeah,
risk
you can,
it. I
Yeah.
wouldn't
I
risk
would
it.
probably still not risk it. That's why we say shrimping.
No, that's fair. That's fair. I just completely forgot.
But, like, but if it slips through, it's not like, oh no.
Why is everyone grouping? Listen, okay?
Because he's hot.
He's hot. Neil Newborn does this amazing voice of him that makes my brain happy. I killed him.
Is it well fed?
You killed him? Why would you kill him?
What?
I am
dear.
insulted. I am horrified. I understand, but I am horrified.
Wait. Did you just say based?
No, I didn't.
Like,
Oh,
I
it
was
It
gonna
would've been
say,
funny
just
if I did, so I wish I did.
Jasper is on thin fucking ice.
Yeah.
I thought you
If
said
I hear
based.
one more thing about this damn twink, it's on site.
Hello, Mind of Alexi.
Why do I
Welcome in.
imagine Jasper saying that? Why does it imagine like Jasper being like looking at everyone just like
Now,
I
listen here. If I hear one more thing about this damn twink, it's on site.
No, all I can think of is Umbra defacing your history books with just like descriptions of the hot people
Oh,
that he's
yeah,
encountered, and you're just
Oh,
like,
yeah.
stop it. Okie dokie. Oh yeah, hi. No clue what you're talking about. Well, welcome into Taeves Tales. I am the DM. These are my lovely players. And you are in for a chaotic time. We're just about to start.
Were we though?
Kind of. I think. I've got to modulate my
I
volume.
want to believe.
I have to remember that I am not alone in my house. Because there can only be one bloodthirsty, power-hungry in my party, and I chose me. That's fair. Absolutely fair. I still don't forgive you, but that's fair. Yeah, chaos! Hell yeah! Okie dokie. So, we've actually been live for about 20 minutes, and we've not started shit, so might jump into it if you guys are cool with that.
Yes.
Brilliant. Okay. You can cry over the chasm I yeeted him into. You've got me for less than 10 minutes before I keep you tabbed. Fair enough. I just appreciate that you're here. Thank you for being here. Alrighty, let us get into it. Before I get sidetracked again, because I will talk about Astarion for hours. Oh. Good evening, once again, dear adventurers. Welcome to the wonderful world of Taeve. A land of myth and magic, of blood and intrigue and mysteries galore. Brain, fucking do the words. And of dungeons and indeed dragons. Last session was an eventful one. You wandered the streets of Talmyn, the shining city full of merchants and civilians and just this endless thrum of life. You made your way to the Mercenaries Guild, met a mysterious spider child with white shining hair and curiously long spider limbs that drew from the center of her back. The plushie she carried firmly secured upon her head as she wandered the streets, and the foolish men who thought to take her or harm her in any way, falling dead at her feet before she even really noticed them. You ventured on to the Adventurers Guild, renowned through Taeve. Though based here, its adventurers are known to wander across all of it. Such a place is formed and managed by an illustrious trio of heroes. Cadmus, their intrepid leader, Zezra, the tiefling druid, and Breda, the minotaur. Heroic deeds lined their names, made them famous, though perhaps the most famous of all was their conquest of the Arch-Lich, Adern the Vile, and his undead dragon, Vorlas, devourer of men. Brador was warm and approachable, if somewhat daunting considering his large size. Zezra was more aloof, but even a fool could see that she's rather protective of her protégés. They seemed willing enough to speak to you, even warmed by your enthusiasm. Only for the door to crash open, Zezra to tense, jaw clenching. And that is where we'll pick up today. Let me just get my notes properly. I know that's not the best summary, but...
No, that's...
Of course, I flipped off the page. I'm so sorry. Here we go. What bursts into the room is an average height, rather broad, muscular-built Leonin, golden pelt and mane gleaming in against the dragon steel pauldrons and fitted armor that he wears. You recognize it almost immediately to be at the Lawkeeper's Guild. Ice blue eyes scan the room with almost like a fevered worry, and then focus in on Zezra. He clears his throat. Lady Zezra, Master Breda, your assistance is required immediately. Zezra glances at you lot, and then at him. Oh? Yes, Auden is currently dealing with Trey. And at that, they both go still. A subtle stillness that sets in their bones and sets the fight or flight reflex in your brain haywire. And in an instant, they're on their feet. They're moving. And if you wish to join them, now is the time to go. They don't seem to be stopping you.
Do those names mean anything to us?
Roll me a history check.
Well,
let's see. Ooh, history checks, let's go.
Umbra, you're not native to the city, so you won't know.
That is a natural 20 for me.
A natural 20?
20.
Fuck yeah. Okay.
Yeah, so put me at 20.
23. And Jasper, what did you get?
23.
20. Both of you. Holy shit.
Yeah.
Fucking A. Okay, so
mine was
yes.
only a natural 19, though.
Okay. The names are pretty immediately familiar to you. Trey is rather well known. His reputation is a bloody one. He is one of the Guild of Assassins leaders, almost. And whenever he's around, things tend to get bloody very quickly. The man is not known for restraint. Despite that, he tends to be quite personable. Auden is a name you also recognize, if less because of his reputation, but rather because he's more of an affable, almost like a guard captain. He's not in charge, but he's a guard captain of the Lord Keeper's Guild. So, generally word on the street that he's a pretty nice guy. Pretty decent. But
Okay.
you are vaguely aware of who these people are. The fact that there's a confrontation on the streets is kind of bad.
I'll sort of whisper to Umbra. It sounds important. Do you wanna see what's going on?
Regardless of whether there was any kind of importance, just knowing that there's drama happening, Umbra kind of like gives like the bombastic side eye to Jasper and like a little like knowing glint in his eyes, like, of course I want to going on. Is there any way we can maybe do it without drawing too much attention to ourselves?
I think we try and follow as nonchalantly as possible.
Okay, let's say that you managed to keep up with them. You're not the most important people rushing through that street. Zezra and Brador are kind of like, they're gonna draw the eye. They're kind of storybook heroes, so if you want to go unnoticed behind them, that's not going to be particularly difficult. So I won't make you roll for it.
We'll be right behind them, but just completely unknown to everyone else.
I think it might be funny if we tried to roll anyway.
You can if you like. I'm just telling you, like, you don't really need to.
Yeah.
You don't need to, but
go on.
I don't need to, but it might be funny if I roll really badly.
Bring it.
It might be funny if I accidentally just like trip into one of them.
Well, that's a 13.
Mm-hmm. Anyone else?
That's a 12 for me.
Fucking hell. All right. The other?
Is that a good kind of fucking hell or the bad kind of fucking?
No, it's...
I can't answer that yet.
It wasn't comically bad, but it also was pretty mediocre.
6.
I see.
Okay, that's pretty cool.
Okay. So your efforts to remain unobtrusive are relatively successful. Like I said, you've got someone that's pretty distracting ahead of you. However, you do notice that people do linger their gazes on you. Curious. Why would you be in such company? Why would you be with Zezra and Brador? What's important about you? And those kind of gazes follow you as you make your way after these two storybook heroes. Allow me to change the music. Hopefully this works, because I've got it set up on my stream deck. Oh no, that's so fucking loud. What was that? That's not what I fucking picked. Are you kidding me? What the shit was that? That's not that one. That's not what that was supposed to be. God fucking damn it. Okay.
It gives and it takes away.
Yeah. Okay, this might be it. Give me a moment, I'm so sorry. It's been a while since I've run this.
Syrinscape really went, you know what?
Yeah.
No.
How about I ruin your day?
How about
you know what?
This one's not
Okay. The crowd is riotous when you arrive, held at bay as crowds often are by the fact no one really wants to be the first person to step forward. Tension lies thick upon the air like a fine wine. Zezra and Brador do push forward, the crowd does part for them, although when one is a Minotaur, one rarely has difficulty with crowds. Something about being crushed underfoot generally offends the primal parts of people's brains. In this loose semicircle is a most curious scene. A merchant, dressed in fine golds and robes, cowers against a wall, eyes wide with fright, blood drained from his face. His bodyguards are tense, hands on their swords, but you can see the ache of fear in them. In front of them, locked in what appears to be combat, braced behind his shield, is a tall, broad, white-scaled dragonborn. He's got a long, spiked mane, with face paint along the right side. His eyes are this burnished yellow, and his body is covered in this heavy plate mail, and he is holding this rather large shield in front of him, braced against a rather affable and scary looking drow. Let me just get his description, because you know me, I can't do anything easy and put them in the same fucking place. Oh dear.
You gotta pause for dramatic effect.
Yeah, we do. Sorry.
It lets me visually process the description of this dragonborn, so I can.
Yeah.
I'll send you the picture of it soon.
You would visually process the image of this
Thank
dragon.
you. I'm glad that this is the reputation I've garnered within.
Okay. This drow is of average height, slim and muscular. He's got scarred grey skin with these sharp crimson eyes, shoulder-length white hair, shaved on both sides, dressed in black armor with a spider motif in silver across the front of his chest plate. His gauntlets are stained red, and at the moment he has a broadsword basically pressed down against the shield. He doesn't seem to be exerting that much effort, but you can see that the Dragonborn, Orden, is having to brace to hold him off. Give me a quick second to send you these quick images.
Is the sea assassin we met in the alleyway earlier?
Yes. Yes, it is.
Oh shit.
Oh.
shit.
Let me...
Don't need visual.
Yeah, I'm working on it. I'm working on it.
I'm a visual learner, by the way. Pics.
Let me save the fucking things. Jesus Christ.
It doesn't want us to know the truth.
This is what the drow looks like. And to those of you who are not in the Discord, you're not going to be able to see this because this is just Google images. But more handsome than this. Finer details to the face. And
Yala is not interested in this. However, I personally am interested.
okay. And
I didn't
Christ.
before I sent that response image.
Oh, and that is the Dragonborn. Oh.
Hot.
But what draws your eye first, perhaps, is the young girl familiar to you from the alleyway. The spider child. She clutches that all too familiar spider plush to her chest. One of its legs is twisted and torn, stuffing poking through. Though her skin is dark, you can see the faint striations of a bruise forming on her cheek as her eyes fill with tears. Have I shown you her picture?
I don't think so.
Alright.
Not.
What's her cheek? Oh, we get everyone today.
Yeah, you are. There's a few more, but there you go. The drow standing at her side, broadsword in hand, pressed against the shield, does not linger his eyes on this lawkeeper, as instead is locked with that merchant. Oh. And you see a simple knowledge in them, a simple desire, a simple thing that he wants. And it is blood. He wants that merchant fucking dead. Oh. Orden attempts to reason with him. Come now, we really don't need this to be a messy situation, do we? The drow laughs. Messy? Me? Really? I'm never messy, darling. The relief on Alden's face when he sees Rhaeda and Zezra, however, is clear. The drow tilts his head ever so slightly to the side, letting his crimson gaze snap over. He inclines his head, a very faint show of acknowledgement, if perhaps respect. Orden speaks again. I know he deserves it. I know. But you can't do this. His voice is low, a rumble of stones grinding against each other. The drow speaks. He tried to kill her. he dies. His friends die. Anyone who dared set those marks on her dies. This city will be a whole lot emptier when I'm finished cleaning house. In contrast to the Dragonborn's almost roughened tones, the drow is smooth, silky, promises of midnight in his tone.
While they are all talking, can I try to approach the little girl?
Yes, but she
Oh,
is
no.
right by his feet.
Oh, you don't want
Like
to do
he
that.
is like to do this, you're going to have to leave the semicircle of the crowd, and you are going to have to walk into the middle towards the drow because she is like right next to him. So you can do it.
I don't want to wait, gamer.
I have decision dice, and they made a decision.
Oh. Okay.
You have chosen death.
To be honest, Umbra kind of wants to chime in as well. So after you do your thing, I think I'm gonna say
Okay.
Umbra wants to kind of contribute to this conversation because I tried to resist, but
Taeves at least gonna like not walk up by like the big drow, just go around to the tiny little girl.
As soon as you take a few steps out of the crowd, his eyes snap to you. Not you. I don't know you. Be a good little pawn. Stay in the crowd. Or we can play. And there's this sharpness to his tone.
I was just offered to help fix spider toy.
His jaw clenches. And you see him hesitate just for a moment and look down at the girl. Perhaps later. I don't think I want to let anybody near her right now. You see, people are so unfriendly these days. And he drops his gaze back to the merchant. Zezra kind of steps forward. Almost, like, not to you, but close enough to you, if she needed to be. If that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Umbra, you wanted to do something.
it's a fucking shitpost, man. First of all, I'm not okay, but in a good way. So because you know when he basically said, like, I know he deserves it, but like you're not here kind of thing.
Yeah.
Only taking like a half step forward to kind of like be just a little bit in front of everyone else, but like not enough to be like an immediate threat. You know, Umbra will kind of like hold up his hands and I kind of like, you know, hands not on weapons. I'm not like going to like try anything. Like, don't worry, I know this song and dance, pun intended. I'm a bard. He kind of just kind of gives like a slight nonchalant shrug and kind of looks between the two of them and just goes, well, if he deserves it, then, I mean, I know the codes, I know some rules here and there, then if he deserves it, then why are you still arguing if you kind of agree with our friend here?
Auden tenses, and you see the shield kind of shiver. Because he won't just kill him. He'll kill anyone that gets anywhere near him. I'm not willing to put this street through a bloodbath. Not today. So let's talk about this, yeah? Come on, Trey. Don't do this today. Zezra speaks, her voice low. This doesn't have to get ugly. The way she looks at him, though, is tense, not afraid, never afraid, but tense. Whoever this is makes her teeth itch, makes magic gather under her skin like storms, years in the making. Umbra, you've seen warriors before. You've seen killers. But the man in front of you outstrips that. His aura almost rings of soldier, of militant discord in his very veins. A blade tethered not through fear, but undying loyalty. Fanatic, you'd think, if that wasn't such a poor descriptor. The young girl sniffles, wipes her nose, tears kind of gathering in her eyes. He glances down at her, and the sight of her makes his jaw clench, and his eyes snap back to the merchant, and you see the shield begin to push down. You see a grimness now, says Ezra, a scared determination to Brador. Time seems to draw thin, tension sharp like a piano wire, and just as determination settles into his voice, it doesn't have to get ugly. Of course it doesn't. He tried to have her killed. He broke her toy. And then he struck her. He's lucky to be breathing. A luck I intend to remedy. There's a seriousness to him. And then a soft voice rings out. Peaceful, calm. That is enough. It shouldn't have had the power to cut through that crowd. It shouldn't have been audible, not really. But the effect is instantaneous. The drow immediately snaps to attention, dropping his blade from the shield and sheathing it in an instant. Eve, I think I've given you her name. The young girl scrambles to her feet, fixes her dress, and immediately darts across the semicircle. The crowd has parted, and striding through... Fuck you guys. I have a shitpost for a reason! I can see chat!
No, I'm being serious in chat.
Striding through unhindered is another drow. Also, is the music still playing? Because I don't think it is.
I don't think so.
There we go.
I'm gonna be real. I thought this was the. I just want. Can I quickly just ask him real quick? This isn't the lady that we saw in the parade, right? I just want to clarify.
No, this is not the dwarf.
For a split second, I thought it was her. Okay, cool. Cool.
Let me just get this photo so I can send it to you in a minute. Striding through the crowd unhindered is another drow, crimson-eyed and platinum-haired, dressed in this beautiful black dress decorated by shining spiderwebs of silver. It seems almost as if she wears midnight herself. Flawless grey skin, and you notice a silver, simple diadem across her forehead. Her right hand is encased in a beautiful silver gauntlet that leaves space for, like, it's not a full gauntlet, you can see her fingers between it. It's more decorative than anything else. If you know, like, the gold jewelry, that kind of thing. I don't know if everybody's watched Stargate, but if you have, that makes sense. If you haven't, it makes nothing.
But I think I know what you're talking about.
To her right, however, is a rather tall drow. Let me get his description. Oh, and I'm very, very sorry, Umbra.
Oh no.
Oh, no.
No.
He's average height, broad, muscular, scarred grey skin, short, spiky white hair, and vibrant crimson eyes, much like the others. He's got these ritualistic facial scars, and dressed in black leather armor with a short sword with a spider motif on the hilt. His fingers are encased in a more armored version of the gauntlets. You can see, and again, you have a photo for this.
no.
Okay, there we go. He has this kind of almost manic energy to his face, and you see around his throat is a rather spiked, decorative collar. Behind him are 3 women, dressed in white, with these blindfolds wrapped around their head. Their clothing is soft, almost floaty, and Eve basically runs up to the lead drow and comes to a rest to her side, where she places her hand ever so gently on her head, strokes it, just almost possessively, and then lifts up and steps forward. And as soon as she does, The girl then goes towards these white-clad women who drop around and kind of very gently check on her. One touches her face, running a thumb across the bruise. Another takes the broken spider plush and is looking at it. They seem very sympathetic. The drow, as yet unnamed, the collared one, you can see these faint, almost ethereal tendrils linking him to each of these women. Oh. Why is the music not playing? What the fuck? Brain, why? Do the thing. She steps forward, this lead woman, and this male drow falls into step beside her. The women stay around the young girl and do lead her forward, and they all seem to be moving in almost military precision. If you would like, you could roll a history check if you're familiar with the city. So I'm afraid, Umbra, you wouldn't be able to, but...
Umbra, get fucked, you're too dumb.
16.
16?
Umbra's just too distracted by the hot people. So, like, it's still canon, you know?
21 for me.
21. Her you don't recognize. But you recognize him. Only by reputation. That would be her chained beast, Venra. Where Trere is unhinged, he'll make a statement. He'll be messy and bloody. Venra is insane. Anything he gets pointed at dies. Anything around it dies. Anyone happening to pass by the facility or the same street dies, and it'll be bloody. Sorry, just gotta do stream matters. It's really hard to do all of this at the same time. Holy shit.
So, like, y'all had been, like, kind of standing, like, in the open area between the crowd and this group, and as soon as they see him, they're backing back into the crowd.
I will...
I'm sorry, I'll turn off the music.
Into the bushes.
Seeing this and seeing the way that Viola reacts, I'll reach out to Umbra and like try and pull him back.
There is no sound as she
Straight
walks
up,
forward.
Simpson back into the bush.
Yeah.
Her eyes glance over you, just for a moment, as she walks towards him. She questions, soft. Trere answers her, "Yes, ma'am." Her voice is still calm. There's no hint of malice or unkindness. In fact, in any other circumstance, it'd probably be quite calming to hear. In fact, she seems almost too peaceable to have this effect on anybody. Then there's a moment. Second. Something glacial changes. Her gaze settles on the merchant, who, beyond all rationality, has gone even paler. He drops to his knees in an instant, bowing his head. "Please, Guild Mistress Nalenia, please, have mercy." He makes a pitiful sight, begging out, "It was just a business decision. I didn't mean any disrespect." His excuses don't seem to faze her. She doesn't seem upset, or happy, or anything. She waits. And those babbling excuses seem to falter and break against the weight of this implacable stare.
I sneezed, but I meant to mute my mic beforehand, but I can reach my mute button in time. Sorry.
I want to look at Cadmus and Zezra.
Brador and Zezra.
Brador and Zezra, sorry.
Yeah. Okay. Roll me an insight check. You'll get an idea of what they're doing anyway, but this is how much you see.
Unfortunately, that's only a 4.
That's okay. Where before they had seemed almost defiant. Not in a, "we will definitely win," but "we can win against you here. It's going to be bloody. It's going to be messy." That has gone. Now it's tense, like a cornered animal. They do not look happy. They look scared. But in that way of, fuck. That kind of like, yeah. They're not terrified. They know they'll go down fighting. They just don't think they'll win.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Nelenia looks over them. Glances over at Auden. You know the rules. So, allow me to explain what is going to happen. He's going to die. Your choice in this matter is how many people join him. Stand aside. You see Auden, his jaw clenches. He glances over at the merchant, who is looking at him with desperation. You see the bodyguards, who, up until this point, they had been contracted to fight to the death, but not this death. He clenches his jaw, inclines his head, and steps aside.
Oh. No.
She lifts her chin, almost dismissively, and turns. And at that, the collared man lunges forward in this split-second dash. And the same movement, those three women seem to spread their cloaks out and gather around the girl, shielding her from this sight. And you watch as he lunges across this space and digs those armored gauntlets into his chest, and with a feat of inhuman strength, rips him apart. It is a horrific sound. Blood hits the ground. He screams. Perhaps longer than you'd hoped, lungs gasping as the air sees things that really shouldn't be seen. The crowd is silent. Nelenia is walking away. She sees Zezra, she sees Brador, and then her eyes settle on you three. Interesting.
See, I was trying not to vomit currently.
It was foolish to draw attention to yourselves. Foolish but brave. Curious. Bravery is interesting. Come. I wish to invite you to tea.
Let's go.
An invitation. One that would be unthinkable to deny, but insane to accept. A delicate balance.
Well,
I will say... sorry?
I said, you know Umbra.
I will say, now that you've heard her title, the Guild Mistress Nelenia, you know which guild she runs. She is the mistress of the Assassin's Guild.
Ooh, okay. I thought so. I just wanted to get the... I was going to ask for, like, clarification, just to be safe.
I'm gonna...
There you go.
I'm gonna whisper that to Umbra.
Thank you for making sure Umbra is in the loop. This poor bun boy who doesn't know shit.
He's the leader of the Assassin's Guild. We can't. It would be unwise to decline.
Anything about declining? I'm very much interested in seeing the Assassin's Guild myself, and I mean, we've been able to secure ourselves the perfect opportunity to do so. So, denying such a request was never on my mind, if I'm perfectly honest.
I will very shakily give the best smile I can in response, but I can't help but glance over at the bloody mess of what used to be a merchant.
She notices. She doesn't care. She turns and gestures for you to follow. Come now.
I'll look at Fiala like I'll kind of look at Fiala like desperate for like some sort of out, like tell me we're not doing this kind of look.
The Gala who is just like very much in turn, just like, no matter what I do, I'm gonna die. I'm gonna die. It doesn't matter what I do. It's fine.
Oh, I have a really quick random question that just
Mhm.
popped into my head.
Ask.
Because times like period passing and D&D always my brain. So you know how a few episodes ago Umbra drank that weird potion
Mhm.
down the entire hatch.
Oh,
Is
we
the
remember.
effects of like good. Are the like silvery effects and like the handprint mark, is that still very much visible on me right now, or is it kind of
That's kind of faded.
started to decide to fade? Okay, cool,
Yeah.
cool.
It lasted about half an hour, 40 minutes, and you've had a bit longer than that, so.
Nice. I just wanted to check. Thank you.
No stress, no stress. If Nilenia's presence induced silence, her offer sparks whispers. Some gazes now land upon you, some friendly, some hardening into unfriendly. Do you go with her?
I mean, I want to go with her personally.
I will swallow.
That's a good choice.
Yeah, I will swallow and grit my teeth behind sealed lips. Swallow.
You don't make the mistake of walking too close to her. She feels dangerous, and as Venra and Treya fall into step beside her, you get the sense that if you go too close, they're going to have a problem. But you notice the crowds part around you. She doesn't need to say anything. She walks, calm, in control. This woman is not afraid of anything. She doesn't give a shit about anything or anyone. There is a curious sound, like falling snow. And then a fourth drow joins you. A young woman, her face ritualistically scarred. She's short and narrow, dark grey skin with circular black tattoos around her eyes and throat. She's got long white hair, shaved bald on one side. Her eyes are this shining crimson. She's dressed in a simple tanned leather with knee-high boots. She almost seems to just appear out of nowhere, but falls into place behind them. Sorry?
I'm just muttering myself. I could do that.
Umbra, can you roll me a perception check, please?
Let's go! Yes, gladly.
Umbra gets to roll.
Yeah.
That is a 14.
That sound, the faintest sound of falling snow, that sounds familiar. And if you don't remember, I will explain to you where you remember it from.
But please do. I'm sorry. I have the memory of a sieve right now.
In the alleyway, when the men tried to attack the little girl, that sound was what you heard before they died. And you saw the barest flash of a shadow. Just like on the edges of your vision.
Oh, yeah! Oh! Okay, we do not want to try for these people. I'm just gonna have to behave. Umbra's gonna have to behave.
Does Umbra know how?
Yeah.
Come back to me when we're either alive or dead.
Right.
The guilds you are led to is a somewhat surreptitious place. Entirely unobtrusive. A normal building on a normal street. Until the doors swing open. Until you pass through what appear to be arcane wards and watch as what was normal becomes strange. The space is larger on the inside than what you thought possible on the outside. Dark velvet curtains, white marble, and ephemeral gauzy lace, rich reds and deeper than black blacks. Echoes, you think, of the Underdark, where wealth and power and pain brought you anything. Tasteful crystalline spiderwebs decorate here and there, artful touches to brighten a room. As you enter, Eve, the young girl, looks up at Nilenia, her small eyes wide and luminescent, but she doesn't speak, doesn't break protocol, until Nilenia nods, just this once. And you see childish light reignite itself within her. She curtsies politely and bolts away, shouting down the halls in a sing-song voice. Vanra, come on! I wanna do the, I wanna see the thing. I wanna do the thing. And like, you see the male drow, the one with the collar, just look at her, and there's amusement and warmth there. And he obediently follows after, as do the 3 women in white. Nalenia moves forward, guiding you through this elaborate entrance hall to a somewhat cozier locale. A meeting room, perhaps, of sorts. It's more muted here, comfortable plush divans of blacks and red, inlaid with silver and gold. In this small space, she seems to dominate the room, her presence almost overwhelming, until she sits down, gesturing idly for you to take a seat.
I will tentatively sit down.
Sit down with a giggle into my eye.
Yeah, they'll take a seat.
Dread. Consuming.
No sooner have you done so than a new figure appears, dressed in red, a blindfold wrapped around her face. She seems to move with ease, however. There is no doubting that she is very aware of everything in this room. She's holding a tray with a teapot and a few cups upon it and places it down. Another woman appears, dressed in a similar outfit, similar red, placing down some snacks, small finger sandwiches, easy enough to eat without being unelegant. Inelegant? Yeah. Oh. She watches you as you watch them, her eyes inscrutable. Only when the tea is poured does she reach forward, manners impeccable as she picks up a single white china cup, silver inlay across the top. Do you drink?
I think if she's taken the first cup, I will probably take a cup so as not to appear impolite.
Okay.
Same.
Umbra will give like a very I'll say eager again. Say that too. I don't know. I can't put thesaurus myself. Right click, quick. But him very much with like a vested interest. There we go. I thesaurused. Kind of gives like a very like vested like nod. And, why, yes, I do. And judging from how lavish and fine everything is, I would hazard a guess that you do indeed have a good taste in drink.
Flattery. At that, she will take a small sip of her tea. Do any of you actually drink the tea?
I'll take
Umbra
a
will.
sip.
Theola will, yes.
What you taste
Theola very
is
pointedly waiting.
warmth.
Tastes like.
It tastes like cinnamon and cardamom, like the kind of drink that you would have on a winter's day when the chill settled into your bones, and you would drink this and it would warm you from the inside out. It is a comforting kind of tea, one that settles you in a way. You see her hide a smile behind the rim of her cup before she places it down. Wise. If I had wanted to kill you, I wouldn't need poison to do so. You are brave, aren't you? Most curious.
Umbra's just thinking brave, more like just like downright brave.
Yeah.
I'm curious, darlings, and I never get curious. What brings you here? Not here, and she gestures to the room, but to the city. What sets those little feet of yours scurrying against the beating hearts?
We had an errand, a delivery to.
Her gaze settles on you. And is that all you had to do? Or do you hunt bigger prey?
Just staring. It's like, nope, just all delivery.
Wait, what was it? Sorry, what was the name of the merchant man that
Vasilius.
I'm personally wanting to hunt? Sorry, how? What?
Vasilius? He's the one that
Vasilius.
stole the artifact that seems to have unleashed the strange shadow upon Grimgold.
Kind of swirling his cup around slightly. You know, even though it's like, you know, like, you know, as one would like maybe like swirl around like a little bit of wine for sampling again. Kind of trying to be a bit more like nonchalant. Umbra's gaze kind of flicks up and he goes, just a side question. You can read into however much you wish. You don't happen to know where I personally, this is my own personal thing, these two aren't too involved, but you wouldn't happen to know the whereabouts of a Vasilius, would you? It's quite imperative that I meet with him again.
Yes, of course I do. The Merchant Prince is within his shining city, in the inner walls, where he always is. I see, you would cut those pretty teeth on his hide. I am almost impressed. I see your bravery knows few boundaries, but you are lacking. Like the pinpricks of a bird's talons, her questions are soft and directed, and they are pointed. Can I get everybody to quickly roll me an insight check, please?
Oh.
Okay.
I love the sheer panic. This is great.
Yeah. 12.
12?
Insight.
11.
11?
16.
16. Fiala, you catch something. She's... It feels deliberate, her phrasing. It feels like it's designed to make you angry. Your offense is supposed to be calculated, your anger at her justified. And you get the feeling that for all the pleasantries that she's exchanging with you right now, you are sitting in the middle of a web, brought taut beneath you. You don't know what she wants, but she's starting to get a pretty good read on you, on all of you, and where to press to make you upset. You stand in a city where everything is bought and sold, and nobody knows you. You have no value, no worth, no bargaining. In this city, connections are everything, and you are faceless. She lets those words hang in the air, pretty and sharp. Why would anyone help you?
I look a bit crestfallen, but I'm not going to respond.
I'm usually one to very much not be as affected by, like, to a degree, I feel like Umbra would be able to know when he's slightly being trifled with or someone's trying to, like, actually ruffle his, I was gonna say tail feathers, but, like, I was trying to think of, like, a bunny-related, his cottontail, if I should say so. But the kind of, like, almost kind of near, kind of, like, implication that he has no use just seems to strike a slight nerve. And he kind of grips his teacup a little bit tighter at this and kind of, without kind of meaning to, you know, when you kind of just say something before your brain fully...
Yeah, you blurt it out.
This is a bad idea. Just kind of goes, just kind of blurts, I assure you I have many uses.
You misunderstand. What I mean is, in a city where everything is bargained for, you have no power. You will have no worth, not yet. You need a connection. If you want to make it inside the city, if you want to make it to your pretty little target so you can sink those sharpened teeth deep, you're going to need help. And to get help, you're going to need a reason. She swirls the cup and drags her finger across the top of it. I have a job for you. Her tone is different. Not beguiling, not ordering. It is truly an offer. There is a little fool that has been making a lot of noise. He irritates me, but not to the point where I would send any of mine to deal with him. After all, there are codes, there are rules, and he has yet to break them. But a foolish adventurer could investigate. Are you interested?
I'm gonna briefly, after she's kind of finished explaining, I'm gonna briefly like shoot a glance to the other two to like gauge their reactions, because like out of like the three of us, Umbra is definitely the most morally questionable, and I feel like the other two of us have like higher morals and a bit more of a like good versus bad kind of ethos compared to him. So he's gonna kind of like look over to the other two and kind of gauge like how they are like reacting to this information of, I want you to basically go kill someone for me.
I will point out, she never said
not.
that. She has not said that
She
to
never
you.
said that. But to investigate someone that will probably end up getting killed.
I will point out to you that she is a guildmaster of assassins. If she wanted someone dead...
True.
She wouldn't ask us.
No.
They would already be dead.
Yeah.
They would get fair enough.
Just so that you don't go down that moralistic, like, side thing, she's not asking you to kill somebody. Well,
Okay,
unless
cool.
it happens to be the thing that you do.
I mean, Umbra was down.
Oh yeah, Umbra was in.
To gauge what everyone else is.
Yeah, the is just like...
Is this investigation you're suggesting we undertake strictly an investigation?
You mean, do I want you to kill him? No. I don't need you to do that. If you decide to kill him, that's entirely your prerogative, and it will tell me a lot about you. No, this little fool... He's been causing a scene, and his voice is grating on my ears. He claims his fiancée has been kidnapped. The lawkeepers have investigated and found nothing of the sort, and he has not shut up. I figured brave adventurers such as yourself could do that, could investigate. If it turns out he is just a madman, a lunatic, then so be it. We will have him either committed or otherwise taken care of. If, however, there is truth, and somebody has stolen away his true love, I would know who managed to do so without me seeing them. Does that answer your query, little one?
Yeah. Yes.
Good.
Theo has just been like staring at her, and as soon as she finishes that, it's just like, why us? If we're useless and have no connections, why are you asking us to do this?
Because you're useless and have no connections. No one knows you. You have no allegiances, no petty pride to get in the way. You won't sabotage an investigation to solve the pride of a lawkeeper or cover up the crimes of a merchant, if that's who it is. You'll give me an honest answer. And in return, I don't expect you to work for free, of course. In return, I can help you. Making connections with one of ours is one way to, well, once you endear yourself, once you prove that you are useful to us, we could be useful to you. We are able to travel into the inner city, after all. We have many passes that we could give you. You'd be able to walk through the gates to find your target, strike if you're clever enough to do so. Of course, if you do not wish to have such connections, if you want to be moral about this, I would understand. But you won't get anywhere near the inner city without someone on your side. And as far as I've seen it, you've had some interesting encounters. The adventurers, the mercenaries, the lawkeepers, even the hunters. Shame about Judith, though. I hear it was a bit of a mess, wasn't it?
You know where she is?
Yes, of course I do.
If we do this, would you tell me?
That is what you'd bargain for me? The location of a hair.
There are things I have my reasons.
I'm sure. In the interests of full cooperation, of course, I will let you know that she is no longer within the city bounds. I know where she's going. I know why she's going. I could tell you her location, of course. Why she runs like the little rabbit she is. That would be part of our bargain. But in the interests of fair play. Surprising, I suppose, from an assassin, but we have rules, and I don't intend to break them for, well, this. Is that still the bargain you wish to make?
Wait, is she implying that we get one bargain, or is it a bargain per
Only one
person?
A bargain per favor. You do this for her, she grants you a boon.
But that's instead of helping us get into
Getting
the
into
city.
the city, and I've got...
Think about it this way,
I've
you're
got
not going to get into the city
getting
with
into-
this favor. You're going to improve relations enough that you would be able to then step towards getting
Start
into the
working
inner
on
city. Yeah. There's a lot in between you and the inner city at the moment, I'm afraid. And you guys have just been wandering around and I'm like, okay. Yeah. I could introduce you to... Well, I could give you a letter of introduction to any guild, I suppose. Not that all of you need one.
Yeah.
Roll a perception check, everybody. And it's gonna be, it's a high DC.
11.
11?
15.
16. Okay. You don't catch anything. Everything seems normal.
Fuck.
Don't worry about it.
Don't worry about it.
Fine.
I like that I yell profanity and you both just nervously chuckle.
I'm gonna look at Fiala. I already see that Umbra is like raring to go.
Pardon me?
Preparing to
Yeah. I'll look at Fiala. And be like, if we're just investigating a missing person, I'm sure that's within our power.
I would hope so. Let me be clear. I don't need you to do this for me. You've made me curious enough to entrust it to you. So if you mess up, don't expect me to extend another favor. Don't expect me to be interested any longer. You understand? You either prove that you're worth my time, worth my curiosity, or you don't, at which point I will have little enough to do with you.
I'll give like a very like confident kind of smirk, and kind of like finish sipping part of my drink and like gently place it down because I'm gonna assume there's a table between us. Oh, don't you worry. We'll definitely prove our worth to you.
That remains to be seen. But it's worth it to me to try. I apologize for the stream reader sound effects. I can't turn them off.
You said that, "Oh."
Fucking god damn it. I'm trying to turn them off. It just doesn't want to help me. There we go. Maybe that'll work? Yeah. There we go. Alright. It's quiet now. I'll give it a couple more. We don't really have anyone joining for it, so not that big a deal. You would not be the first to promise that, child. Her gaze kind of drifts over you, lingering just for a moment. But perhaps you will prove yourself more interesting than they. Jasper, can you roll me a perception check, please?
17.
Okay. No, don't worry. This one you see. There is a movement to your left. And reflexively you glance down. Eve is sitting there. And her hand is reaching towards your bag, where you keep your books. And she sees you go at her, and she just goes very still, like wide-eyed. Hi?
I will like give like a tentative smile, but I'll like put my hand over the like flap of my bag.
Oh. You've got books in there, right? Books mean stories. You have stories?
Quite a few, yes.
Her eyes light up. Joy creases across her face. And you notice at that point that the little... Honestly, think of it like a spider crab. Like the head crabs. That's what she's kind of got over her head. It's much cuter than that, but yeah, that's what she's got on her head. And you see that it has been repaired. Oh. I don't suppose you'd tell me one, would you?
Can I like really quickly interject and like lean forward and smile, like quite softly, at her and just go, well, if I know anything about Jasper is that... Wait, really quickly, wait, were you going by a different name? Really quick. Were you going by a different moniker while we were
Well,
out
it's
in
too
public?
late now. Too late now.
Because it's my own dumb brain, but I can rephrase a sentence.
You
heard
heard me use several different
which one is the like
several different
appointed?
nicknames.
Which is the appointed nickname?
We
Apart
didn't.
from
We
Nessie.
never discussed that. So you have to decide in character.
What were the ones that were like given?
I think I mentioned Nessie, Jazzy,
Yes.
and Inky Fingers.
I remember Jesse.
I remember Nessie. So, Nessie. Wait, did you say Jessie?
Jazzy.
Jazzy, and then Inky Fingers. I don't know why Inky Fingers kind of sounds like. All right then, we're gonna go with Nessie because that's the cute one. He kind of like leans forward and like gives like a very like soft, like warm smile. And goes, well, if I know anything about Nessie, is that they're quite a really good storyteller and have a lot of all kinds of stories to share. So I'm sure they wouldn't mind sharing one or two.
Her eyes get so big. Like, she is just like instant, like a little kid. Really? And she looks over at Nelenia, who is watching with this... She's not soft. You wouldn't ever dare assume that of her. But there is a tolerance to her gaze. I suppose, if you wish to share a story with her, I would allow it. Though I am rather busy.
Well, I'll turn back to her. Yes, I'd love to. I mean, I've collected all kinds of stories about legendary heroes and adventurers of the past and their various exploits. It's my area of expertise, really.
Really? So, Like, you know the big ones, like Cadmus and Cesra and Beta. You know those ones, right? Do you have any new ones?
They're some of my favourites.
I love the story about Breda and the big fight with the big dragon. And there is the slightest huff. And you glance up, and that collared drow is standing and leaning against the wall, arms crossed, kind of watching you. He doesn't make any move to stop you, doesn't make any move to kind of interfere, just watches. But it is distinctly unsettling, because those eyes are, like, piercing. And you get the idea that if you disappoint this child, he will kill you. Like,
We will die.
that is the vibe he is giving off right now.
You're in Arabian Nights now.
You want me to?
You can spitball
You
a
want me
story,
to-
or you can tell me that you've told her a story and I'll roll you a
Okay.
and you roll a performance check.
Jasper
Okay,
opens
well,
book.
I'm gonna bring out one of my newer books, one of my more recent ones. Oh, if you're looking for something more contemporary, this is a personal favourite of mine, and rather close to my heart, actually. This one is the tale of Aramis the Blade.
I've never heard of them.
Yes, well, the story actually begins with a completely different set of adventurers, and I'm going to go into the story about this old party of adventurers and their various exploits, and how two of them, a human man and an elf woman, fell in love over the course of their adventures and eventually had a child. And young Aramis, well, his parents, when he was young, would teach him stories of their exploits, and in time, he wanted to become an adventurer himself. But his parents, well, they'd grown older, and they no longer had a heart for adventures. They wanted to settle down and have a family and live a life of safety. Aramis was determined. He managed to convince his grandparents to secretly teach him sword fighting. See, and he would practice every day with this tiny child-sized rapier, until eventually he snuck out. Parents had no idea where he was, and they went to look for him. He struck out, going on adventures of his own. Well, he wasn't very good at first, but after various close brushes with death, he started to learn the ways of adventuring. And he'd write songs, you know, and they're quite funny. There's a whole repertoire of songs out there that he wrote about his own adventures. He tended to embellish them, but there's one funny one about a crab. I don't know if. And I'm going to go into this whole story about how he ventured into this cave, and he and his friends were fighting a group of Merrow, and how this giant fighter, magically enlarged, fought a group of Merrow with this tiny crab on his head, pulling at his hair and controlling his limbs like a
like little
Ratatouille.
Yeah. Her eyes are huge, like so big. She is so enraptured, and you can take inspiration because that's fucking good. I like that.
Thank you.
No! Is this our first like DM given inspiration?
Yeah.
You get it?
Yeah, it is.
Congratulations!
Her eyes are so wide. And she is going to turn, not to Nalenia, but to Venra, the collared drow in the corner. I want a sword. And he just looks at her, tilts his head, and goes to grab the small dagger at his side. And Nalenia's like, if you give her that dagger, I'll feed you your hands. Give her a short sword from the armory.
Umbra's like, grip, like trying so hard to like bark out a laugh at what is like just unfolding between everyone.
Ow. Almost like immediately he gets up to go and get a short sword from the armory as commanded. And she's like super excited. And you notice like those little spindly, like, so she's got basically 6 of these legs just kind of like curled around these thin, long, they're not furry, they're like almost bone white. And you notice that they're kind of almost like soothingly playing with her hair and keeping like her clothes neat. And it's this very like self-soothing kind of gesture. And you can see the bruise on her cheek is still quite vivid, but she just seemed to have forgotten about it. Nalenia kind of raises an eyebrow. So it would seem you're a storyteller. You just got more interesting, child. Perhaps, if you wish to share your stories with her, I'll allow it. Should you wish to come back, I mean. Though, be careful, she does love a good story, and is quite insistent about new ones.
I always strive to collect new stories.
Then you may have a use.
I'm gonna like glance at her and glance at Venra and like and swat and gulp.
He returns back into by the way, I didn't mean to yell at you in that. I just accidentally hit caps. I'm just responding to Umbra. I just hit caps and I'm like I didn't mean to yell. Venra returns and he comes back with this short sword about this long. It's almost as long as her torso, and he flips it over, kneels, and hands it to her. She takes it. Umbra, perception check or insight?
Let me.
You got this.
I'll do perception, please.
Okay.
I'm scared. More for myself, my dirty 20! Dirty
Fuck
20!
yeah!
Ooh.
Yes! Okay, so
Good.
there
Guys,
is...
I love you.
You've seen people pick up blades before. People that aren't experienced with blades. She grabs it, and there is a steadiness. She's held a blade before. You don't know why, and she doesn't have the same battle-hardened edge anyone else has. But when she holds that blade, she's used one before. And she holds it up, and in that childlike, like with a lightsaber, just kind of swings it about. And Venra very gently taps her wrist, and she straightens it, like concentrating. He glances over at Nalenia, who inclines her head and gestures, and he is going to take her away. So if you would like to say anything before she goes, you can, but he is going to lead her away unless you would like to talk to her.
I will be very,
like...
I'll be very hesitant to talk to her with them being as
Yeah.
protective as they are.
I don't know what to say. All I could think of was just like hot drow men. And, like,
You can say whatever you want.
No thoughts.
I told you you'd like these ones.
No thoughts. Horny. I'm crying. Sorry, I've been put on the spot. I can't think. Like, you know when like you want to say something, but like I know that like in this like a moment of panic, as like calm and composed as I want Umbra to be, like all he would do is just kind of like glance at him and like up and down, like you know when like you kind of like see in like shows where like characters will like basically have a feast with their eyes as it kind of like roams over like a character. You know what? No words. Umbra will just do that and just kind of like appreciate the snap that is in front of him.
I love Umbra so much.
1 second,
I'm
I gotta
so
roll.
glad.
Okay, interesting. A low, rich voice, a familiar voice, murmurs, "Stare any harder, and you're likely to set his clothes on fire." And you snap up, and Trey is standing beside you, looking at you with amusement and small hints of warning.
A very light, in a way that he can kind of like sometimes kind of be like trample it down. A very like dusting of a blush appears very slightly on his cheeks as he kind of leans back and kind of folds his arms across his chest, maybe like crosses one leg over the other. Well, you must excuse me. I mean, with all of you being here, I mean, who am I to not want to be one to occasionally take a small glance before I inevitably have to leave for a while? You have to give a bard some kind of allowance to a degree here and there, surely.
He raises an eyebrow, and he's going to move, and in a very swift but like very calculated movement, is going to lean in and place his arm almost like over. So he's touching the couch, he's not touching you, but he's right fucking here, like right up in your face. How interesting. A bard, you say? We haven't had a bard here for a while.
I will actually look at Umbra, like.
Umbra, can they roll like perception or insight to see like if you start? Actually, better yet, can you roll Constitution to stop yourself from going full red? If you would like to stop yourself, I mean.
Where's my Constitution? Wait, is this a saving throw?
Yeah, sure. I mean, it's not going to cause any real problem. Like, you're not going to fucking pass out. I'm just like.
But it would be funny because of the response I have formulating. I got a 16.
A 16. Okay. A little bit of heat. You do, like, you feel it kind of like at the back of your jaw, just a little bit at your throat. But you are managing to keep your face, keep very calm. And he has this faint scent of, well, first and foremost, of blood. But underneath that is the leather from his armor and something darker, something warm and a faint hint of spice.
I'm really eating good tonight. Kind of like having a little bit of like a wolfish grin. Despite the very much like probably they can hear like the slight thudding of his like little poor Haragon heart. Wait, what was it? I mean, I'm getting flustered myself. What was it that he said to me? Oh, a bard. It's been a while.
Yeah.
Yes, I am. I'm been told I'm actually quite talented. So any services you require, I'm more than happy to oblige.
Any services? Is that so? Jasper and Theala, while you're watching this, make me a quick perception check, please.
Well,
Love this.
the 7.
Okay. Theala?
Oh, just like Umbra. What the fuck?
Is that perception?
Yeah.
15.
You notice Nilenia is watching. She doesn't look upset. She doesn't look angry or anything like that. She is watching for reactions.
Yeah, Theala is just like keeping their eyes on her. Because if they look the other way, it's gonna be a disaster.
It is a curiousness. Hold on, let me get there. I have a really good description of her, and I have to find it because I really liked it.
I'm very appreciative that while you find this, I will make a comment that thank y'all for letting me finally bring in the full form of the metamorphosis. We have turned and blossomed into the butterfly.
Yes. Look, you just needed to be in the right environment to bloom.
I just needed hot
I'm just gonna grab
ground
the
to
drink.
just lean over me.
No stress. So, Theala, when you're looking at Nilenia, there is an implacableness to her, an uncaring, unfeeling emptiness. You think if voids could talk, this is what they would sound like. Not menacing or dark, or even blindingly loud. No. It would sound like this, like she talks. empty and uncaring, and most of all, dangerous. Yeah. Trey is going to tilt his head and kind of lean in, almost close enough to touch.
Oh boy. Oh
My. Since when did outsiders get so interesting? Roll me an insight check. If you would like to. You don't have to, but you can roll me an insight check.
Any excuse to roll, I'm gonna roll. But I sadly only got a 9, so I feel like Umbra's just kind of like distracted by like, oh, wow, like he's
You got a 9?
kind of short-circuiting.
Okay.
I only got a 9. I ain't perceiving shit. I'm not insighting.
There seems to be a genuine spark, you think. You're not sure.
Oh.
Umbra.
And he's going to smile and run his tongue over his teeth, and you notice they're slightly pointed.
Oh
my
no.
God.
Oh no.
God.
Oh,
Not
you're
pointed
fucking
as in
unsure.
not pointed as in vampire, but as in drow. Drow have the slightly
Yeah.
pointed teeth.
As in you designed this character specifically for
No, here's the thing.
Umbra to shrink
My
further.
sister designed this character, not knowing anything about Umbra.
Oh, likely
or the
story.
person that plays Umbra, or the person that... you, I swear you had a hand in this. I swear.
I'm playing him,
God,
but-
you had...
No, she designed him.
I'm gonna have words with your sister. Slash pause.
You're gonna have words with me later, I can tell you that. There is a pause. Time seems to drag out. And then the faintest sound of a spoon against china. Like the faintest ding. And all at once, all emotion vanishes from his face. He pulls back, this very sinuous movement, and looks at you almost bored. Well, sister, what would you have of me? Nelania looks at him. I want to know. Go make sure that Venra isn't teaching her how to flip with that sword. I don't really want to have to pay for another chandelier. He inclines his head and kind of like drops into that polite bow and turns and walks out.
Oh boy. Whew. His mirror is a little bit warm. Umbra's like still trying to very much like maintain composure. Probably failing a little bit, but you know, it is what it is.
Athela is still like watching her and just very. After spending that entire time getting their composure, just very calm. He's like, "Which family did you say that man was from again?"
She tilts her head. Let me just find my notes. Yeah. He is not of any particular noble. He's some little fool from the southern side of the city. They say, well, he has been insisting for the last 10 days that his fiancée has been captured and stolen away. Honestly, it's a bit of a drivel, but the lawkeepers aren't doing anything about it, and I want him to stop yelling. I can point you in the right direction. I can send you on your way. And when you have something of interest to report to me, I'll see that someone finds you. Of course, if you're willing to take on this job, I mean, you have an offer. Little mayflies, do choose correctly.
I think we can do it. I'll look at the other two.
We can. And I think Umbra might self-combust if we don't.
Do you say that?
I kind of... I was gonna say, do you say that out loud?
Yes.
Umbra gives like
It
a
is
very
very
like
quiet. It is just for the three of us.
Oh, she hears
I
it.
give like a very I give like a very soft like cough to be like, excuse me, kind of like, you know, when you kind of do like a cough to be like, shut the fuck up. Like it's kind. I kind of like bark out this very soft cough, and kind of lean in, knowing that you know, like she has like ears everywhere. She's definitely good. I mean, I had no objections from the start, but it seems that our deal has been meeting there. I still continue to not disagree with the current predicaments we have found ourselves in, and I would kindly just remind you to leave it at that. Thank you very much.
Diana, I will say, while you were watching Nalenia, while Thern was flirting, I guess, with Umbra? Fucking hell, brain.
He's Umbla now.
Sorry.
It's a humor.
He is Umbla.
There was a calculatedness to it. She waited and watched, and when she had what she wanted, she called him off.
Okay.
Well,
Okay.
now that that has been settled, do be so kind as to make yourself scarce.
She just kindly said, "Get the fuck out of here."
Yes, I think it is probably best we're on our way. Thank you for the tea. I'm going to stand up very hastily.
Yes.
Thank you for wow, and I'll give like a very short, like polite bow.
Oh, as you're sort of
After my,
turning to leave. By the way,
Sorry.
next time you see one of ours out there, and you think it clever to get in between us and a target, a friendly warning. Think again. You were interesting this time. You won't be interesting then. Have I made myself clear?
Right. Sorry, guys. I'm gonna nod, very like, you know, like understanding, and just say, but I mean, I don't object to in any way. We will be sure to, where I choose to place my footing, I will be extra careful. You know, I have a dancer's feet. I understand how towing the line can be quite difficult, but for the record, I fully agreed with your men back there.
Of course. And she tilts her head, looking at you. There are rules in this city. If you come for us, it's a matter of politics, a game. Of course you would come for us. Of course you would try to spill our blood. But not hers. She is ours. And the next idiot to lay a hand on her, well, that'll be the last time she has hands. So, carry that knowledge with you, little rats, little mayflies. Carry it as a warning. And her eyes linger on you, Jasper. Even you. Any harm comes to her, and you won't live to see the morning. That is a rule. And she kind of gestures with her hand, kind of dismissing you. Don't be so foolish as to return here without an invitation. You'll find the safeguards are not so kind without me.
Funboy says he agrees with Lady. Gets warned regardless.
I will be like speed walking out of,
Yes.
out of the building.
Yep.
As soon as you leave and as soon as you get outside, the air is immediately cooler and it feels a little easier to breathe, but as soon as you pass back over those arcane wards, this just looks like a normal street. It looks like a normal house. And it, in fact, it's almost a little bit difficult to remember which house you just came out of.
Are you quite all right, Umbra? That man looked like he wanted to eat you.
so much. I'm sorry.
I'm gonna fucking die. Oh.
Taeve is just like under the hood, like head in hand.
I'm not quite sure what's so funny.
Umber, like, yeah, Umber is full on, like belly clutch laughing right now and, like, wipes a tear from his eye. Oh, Jasper, you really do continue to bring a constant stream of joy into my life, I assure you. But don't worry. All is well, all is well.
All right.
Yes.
As we're walking,
Yeah.
I'm gonna say a bit more quietly. Did you say you were a bard?
Did you not realize? Was it not obvious?
I kind of like gesture to probably like the modicum of like instruments that hang from my pack. I mean I've only got like 2, but in my current inventory. Yes, I mean, well, I also specifically specialize more in dancing with things like my swords. So I do know a thing or two about music and singing. It before I guess I started traveling with you all, I was more of a traveling performer, going from place to place, though I never really ended up in the city, as is painfully obvious, it seems.
Well, which college did you go to? Did you meet any of the any famous musicians or performers? Tell me
As they're having
everything.
these conversations, Yal is just gonna like lightly start leading them away. They're not gonna interrupt.
I'll be talking as we're walking. I won't be just
Yeah,
like standing
exactly.
there in the middle of the street.
Yeah, exactly.
Can this is probably going to be more of like a question. This is going to be really quickly aimed at Sparrow. I don't know if I ever really said how Umber learned.
You didn't.
Did Umber go to college?
I mean, I know, like, we did work it out, and I can tell you, I will remind you.
Thank you. Because when I forget, guys, I forget my own character's backstories. That's why I have, like, notes apps and DM reminder. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna do something interesting.
Mhm.
I'm just gonna quickly let you know. Okay. Is that okay to do that?
So what I would have you do, is I would have you roll, so basically, I would have you roll deception or persuasion, but you would tell me in chat, like in our chat, which one you rolled, but you won't tell anyone else. So, that's up to you.
Okay.
That's so bright. My eyes.
Let me just check my stats real quick. The deception or what, sorry?
Persuasion. Yeah. Okay.
Do that one.
Interesting.
Yeah,
I'm stealing this. I'm stealing this from Matt Mercer because he's like, this way you don't know if they're telling a truth or lie. So.
So should I roll first and then answer, or should I respond and then roll? Roll first.
Roll first.
Yeah. Poker face, baby. Wow. There you go.
Okay. So go ahead.
Kind of like putting a hand to my chin for a moment. I kind of like kissed a little bit. I mean, it was quite a while ago, and I mean, I'm part of the College of Swords, and
of course.
I mean, I might have met a person or two, but as much as I am kind of brutish and loud, back when I was doing my studies, I was a little bit more focused on concentrating on doing well, so I didn't really live my lavish lifestyle of, I guess, all of me until I kind of left that more academic kind of background. you know, as one tends to kind of want to do better at first and then kind of dabble in the party life a little bit afterwards. So, I mean, I've always been a little bit bad at placing faces and names, but if you happen to jog my memory, I'm sure I can say a story or two about some of their darkest secrets, or maybe what they got up to, or their taste in particular people.
Well, of course. Okay, can I don't know
You could.
much, Sparrow, about the in-game details, but can I ask about like certain famous bards that may be associated with the College of Swords?
Yes, but I don't have any written at the moment.
Let's just say, like, out of character, like grilling Umbra with questions about like famous bards.
Yes. Sorry, I've dropped my my dice. So do continue.
Oh no.
I'm fine. Everything's fine. I'm just gonna disappear from the screen for a second as I go under my desk. Son of a bitch! Shut up!
Oh god, we've been
Oh, shit,
abandoned.
Sparrow has dematerialized. He's gone.
Guys, you can still see me. Fuck off.
It's our stream now.
No, we can't. You move out of the chair, and immediately it's like a shroud of invisibility is moved up, and I actually can't see you on screen. Like, where
I
are
genuinely do
Now-
not know
you?
what
now-
this is.
Voice, but it's disembodied.
Now's our chance to escape from the basement. Quickly.
We have to
I thought we
go.
were in the loft. I thought we were in the loft, not the
Oh
basement.
yeah,
We moved to the loft.
I did all that work to, you know, give you a nice place in the attic, and you don't act like you care. You just
Sorry,
say you're in the
Sparrow,
basement.
We're not trying to escape.
Wait,
We're not
Sparrow!
trying to.
I can see Sparrow again.
We're not trying to escape. We love it here. We love it here.
Damn right you do. I'm
We
an
have a
excellent
video
host.
confession.
I'm going to find that D4 in the most painful fucking way later.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
They're like caltrops.
Sorry. My brain completely. What were you doing?
Jasper was
were-
regaling
yeah.
to me questions about bards from College of Swords.
Y'all is just like carefully guiding them like back to their inn room.
Okay.
'Cause I don't think we had anywhere else we were going.
What I'm going to get you to do, Umbra,
Mm-hmm.
is I'm going to get you to roll what I'm about to tell you.
One of them. A good way.
So nervous now.
And I will get you, Sage, to roll this.
Ooh,
please.
Okay. Wait, what was the other one?
Let me.
Oh, secrets.
Christ. Okay. Alright.
I know everything.
So do I need to wait for this, or do I just?
Nope, you're good to go. You can tell. And I will tell you, Jasper, what you read off of this situation.
With like a very animated kind of like moving my hands a lot kind of thing. Umbra like starts kind of listing off all sorts of like, you know, like a tabloid gossip, kind of talking about like, oh, like this specific bard had like this very interesting taste in like certain antics, or oh, did you know that, like, you know, before like a huge exam or test kind of things, this is what another one would do to make sure that they would always secure like the top spot in the class, like trying to like dish out very like tabloid-esque like little secrets and kind of like just like general like gossip that would have probably been caught like while like studying and doing all sorts and things like that, and kind of like just, you know, regaling those like interesting tales in as like much of a flourish as I can.
I'm completely taking all of this at face value and making very detailed notes.
Yeah, no. As far as you're aware, and in character and out of character, as far as you're aware, they're telling you the truth. It rings true. whether or not you believe that, because I like to fuck with people and say, like, give you information that can be true when it's this low. So, that is up to you.
That sounds so cool. I wish I'd had the chance to. Well, it doesn't really matter now.
His face kind of softens for a moment, and then he kind of gives this kind of shrug. All in all, I mean, it's very awfully stressful. I mean, constant deadlines, all the clicks, all the toxicity. If anything, I would say you've dodged a bullet, if I'm perfectly honest. But if you ever want to try and live a little bit of that
What's a
nightlife,
bullet?
Dodge the bolt.
You dodged the proverbial fireball, so to speak. But
Oh, I see.
if you would ever want to partake in the more kind of fun kind of nightlife vibe that every place of study seems to partake in, I'm sure we could figure out something while we're staying at our inn in this town, and I know a thing or two about partying, so
Well, that's very kind. That's very kind of you. But well, for me, the studying is really the draw of it.
Umbra internally, a fucking course. Kind of like just like nods and like understanding. Understandable. Have a nice day.
Fair, fair.
Fair.
Fair,
I
yeah.
won't judge. I won't judge. I mean, we'll not judge because Jasper knows too much already about the fucking bear incident. I mean, they can write that in. They can write that in if they want to. I'm not
100%.
I'm not about to be like, studying's for nerds. Like, no, I'm very much just like, you know what? If you like that studying aspect, absolutely fair.
Also, I've noticed I've not switched this over to the party screen. And it's kind of weird.
Yeah, I was about to say it is.
No.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's popping off.
Yeah. There we go. I fixed it. Not well, but I fixed it. I can't bring up my one for some reason. That's annoying. Oh no, maybe? Yeah, there we go. I'm back. Now I'm back. I fixed it.
For anyone who's been watching since the beginning and we were joking about Theala's stats, you see what I mean.
Your stats always kind of make me like just like cry a little bit on the inside. Cause like there's like I mean I know Jasper has like the one single stat in charisma, but like seeing yours have two single stats under 10 is just like
It hurts me emotionally.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean 7's my favorite number, but that just fucking hurts, you know.
I remember when I rolled these, basically it was you know, you're supposed to drop the lowest number, right? And I'm like, yeah, I did.
Oh god.
Oh.
It could have been so much worse.
Which scares me.
A copy of the original stats, because like if there was the original stats somewhere, I think we'd all cry. It'd be a nightmare fuel for any DM.
I do not have the original stats. But no, the whole time they were like walking, Thel was just like guiding them to wherever else they were gonna go. I didn't think we have anywhere else.
I think it was just
Yeah.
back to the inn.
Yeah,
Okay.
so you guys are free to go pretty much anywhere at this point. I will say that you were given like a brief description of this person, but otherwise,
Yeah,
there's no rush to do it right now.
no,
You can fuck around.
Yeah.
Maybe we
Yeah.
go back for a little bite. Maybe like do a little bit of planning about how we're gonna go and scout for this person.
That makes sense.
Well,
little bit of plan.
the guy in question, I think we could find pretty easily.
Mm.
The thing is, we need to like question him about what he knows about Beyonce.
Oh yeah, true. Me
Yeah.
thinking like, yeah, we need to find that guy first before we do any more.
But given
sleuthing.
what we've heard about him, I don't think he's making it very difficult to find him.
Did you
And-
say he
Probably
was a
not, no.
merchant?
That he was just like a noble in the city. Not really important, not really anything important. about his family, just wealthy enough to be annoying, but
Wealthy enough to be annoying.
not wealthy enough to get the attention of any higher ups, I guess. So and given that she can hear him a lot, I mean, obviously Nalenia is able to hear a lot in this city, but he must be somewhere that she I can't believe I'm going to put these on during a D&D session.
Oh no.
Oh yeah.
I just saw that pop up and I was like,
a
yes.
session.
Fuck you.
It is, yeah.
During our actual session. Let's go. No.
Called out.
No, I'm
Called fucking out.
No, because that also reminds me that I still have that, like, I'm pretty sure I haven't used it yet. I still have that potion, don't I? That the
explosive one, yeah.
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 Good.
So you would imagine it's relatively close by to where you were. The guy. He's got to be close by. If she's hearing him, he's got to be close by. So you'd be able to find him pretty fucking easily. So if there's anything else you would like to do in the city, that's fine. You can go and do that. We have plenty of time. And you weren't given a time limit on doing this, only that you were asked to investigate.
Of course.
What do you folks want to do?
Well, we have a lot to do, so I think we ought to find this man, his missing fiance.
Yes, I think the sooner we get into the good graces of this guild, the more beneficial it'll be for us in the long run. I know you specifically are still very much concerned about Judith, so I'm willing to help with the information.
That's not all. That's not all. As long as Virilius is still on the loose, then so is that giant monster attacking Gold. We need help getting to him.
Do. Much as I hate to admit we need help.
That's what you want to do. I will go with.
Okay. So you're planning to find the guy, yeah?
Find the guy, yeah.
Sounds good. Roll me an investigation check. See how easy you find him.
Uh-oh. Investigation.
Let's have a look.
Oh, I'm rolling like touch wood, but like my dice fucking love me today. I got a 17.
Fuck yeah.
This never happens. To people who are new to this never happens to me. I always roll shit. It's how Umbra literally fell into bare shit because I rolled bad. Like,
I got an 11.
11?
Very funny.
Okay. Jasper?
9.
Okay. Interesting.
I'm trying so hard not to lose my mind over here, Sparrow.
Fiala? Lovely.
Yeah.
Can you roll me? Let's make it a charisma saving throw really quickly. I'll explain it to you in a minute.
What?
I don't know if charisma is the right one for this, but you'll understand in a second.
Oh, I can guess.
oh, that laugh.
Oh, thank you,
now I'm
guys,
nervous for you.
Thank you, Dice, for giving me narrative.
Oh god, what'd you get? Okay. Time around you seems to freeze. Literally. You watch as carts begin to slow and almost like a crystalline sheen. Is over everything? Sorry. I just knocked headphones over my mic. Echoes over everything. There is this faint feeling of falling backwards, and cold seems to creep into your very veins. A voice. Familiar. A familiar story, is it not? You turn. You can't see him. You never really see him. But you feel him. And it is the sense of ice dripping down your spine. It is the feeling of teeth pressed against your spine. Not threatening, not yet, but the idea that it could be. And then there's this sensation of awareness. You know for a fact there is nothing physically or, like, metaphysically in the air around you. You know this because he's watching. He's looking out for you. And you know that you're safe. From mortal dangers, anyway. I wonder what you will choose to do.
I wonder that too.
You haven't told them, have you?
Haven't asked.
Don't try and lie to me, child. Of course they didn't ask. You don't let them. If anything, and there's this, well, he doesn't hold up a hand, but you see there's a sensation of movement, and crystalline ice forms around you, like you can hear it crackling as it an ice cocoon. You shield yourself and hold them all at bay. Except for me, of course. And there's this sensation of pushing, and the ice shatters. It is not my concern what you tell them. It is not my concern what you do with your time. As long as you remember our code. Good. I will be watching, little one. Don't be foolish. I have need of you yet. If you should die before that need is fulfilled, I will be very disappointed. I would like you, very quickly, to roll me an insight check. Now, this is going to be an incredibly difficult DC, but please roll it for me.
Big
I'm sorry. I just...
That is a natural 19, so 19 total.
Okay.
Ayo.
It's just under, but you are able to glean this. There's something different about the way he's speaking. More like when you first met, as opposed to when you were given instructions about the bear. You're not sure what it is. But there's something odd. And you're not... It's like a little niggle in the back of your brain. Like, what is this? I won't keep you. But know that I'm watching, child. And I am curious to see what you'll do.
Makes two.
There's a sensation of falling forward. You feel your breath rush into your lungs as if you'd been holding it in that in-between space, falling in the echo of a heartbeat. Time resumes, and you are back with your friends, walking, as if nothing had changed. The only way you know it was not a dream or a hallucination is at the ends of your hair, just barely, and already melting, is the faint hint of frost. Like early morning dew frost. It's just on the edges of your hair, and already beginning to melt.
Are you all right? Yeah. You looked a bit out of it.
I'm fine. It was really, really exhilarating having tea with that woman.
Yes. attracting the attention of the Assassin's Guild is really not something I wanted for the city, but I suppose if we can come to some sort of understanding, it might help in the long run.
What was the description that she gave us of this guy?
Okay, so this guy is relatively short but pompous looking. He's got short, almost like blondish hair, like dirty blonde, bit pudgy around the jaw. Not particularly handsome, but you imagine that's more of her perspective on him necessarily. His name is Cecil Highwater. And he's usually dressed in quite pompous clothing. And it doesn't take you long to find him. He is not assaulting passers-by, but trying to get their attention, grabbing onto like their coats as they pass, and they shake him off, kind of thing. No, you don't understand. I am Lord Cecil Highwater, and my wife is missing. And there's a sort of jeer, like a from like across the street. Wife? I thought she was your fiancée, and the day before that she was your girlfriend. You might want to stick to a story, pal. She will be my wife. She is currently my fiancée, and was my girlfriend. And she is currently missing. Why is nobody helping me?
I'm gonna look towards like maybe Jasper, or just kind of give a shrug and say, not to be to throw this on to you, but you seem to be better with words when speaking to highborn people than I might be. I think if I have to be the first one to introduce ourselves to him, I may punch him in the teeth. So not to pass it on to you, but I will buy you a drink if you're the one to maybe take the lead in this conversation.
Yeah. All right.
I'll buy you fresh stationery as well.
Yeah, drinks.
I look,
Bribing him.
I look notably more like in by the promise of stationery. I'll head over towards the man. Excuse me, are you all right, mister? You seem to be causing quite a scene.
He does that really annoying thing that people do, whereas when he knows you're here, he knows that you're down, like, lower than his vision, but he looks around confusedly, and then finally, oh, my good sir, thank you for stopping. Yes, my wife has been stolen, along with some valuables, but my wife has been stolen, and no one in the city seems to care.
Your wife?
Yes.
You mean kidnapped?
Yes. And nobody believes me!
Well, do you have any suspicions as to who might have done it?
I don't know. But I know she was taken. A number of my valuables have gone missing. I came home one day and everything was gone. All of the valuables, all the important stuff, gone. And so was she. And she would not leave me. She was to be Lady Hyman. That is a prestigious title in this city.
Well, it happens that my associates and I happen to be, we, I suppose you could call us adventurers. We might be able to help if there's a missing person. Perhaps we could find some way to talk in private, and you could tell us more.
Yes, come with me. I can't really take you home at the moment, you see. There's quite a few people there, but come, just there's a tavern thing around here. We can talk there. Yes.
Umbra does not like this guy.
I gotta say, yeah, it was so weird trying to do that
Well-
accent with the fucking fox ears.
Yeah. While he's not looking, I'm gonna give Umbra a look like, please help me.
Umbra's gonna kind of like roll his eyes like down, and silently communicate across like just the pure like exasperation of like we really like this guy. Like now I see why it was passed off onto us, kind of like for fuck's sake.
Yeah.
And kind of like steps forward. Well, lead the way, and I'm sure we can come to a understanding on this current predicament.
Really. And he's going to start. To call it charitable would be waddling. What it looks like is a constipated penguin trying to do an impressive walk.
Wait, Henna, has anyone ever seen Return to Oz?
Yes.
You know, it's called like TikTok, the like clock walking like that.
Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. Yeah, that waddle.
For anyone in my family that like see these, my grandma walks like that, so it's very much like a waddle. To like layman terms, like I understand.
The only thing I will say is that he's doing it deliberately. You can tell. He thinks it makes him look impressive. But as he's walking, it's like this. Every so often, like his second step isn't quite as pronounced, and you can see him like kind of correct it so that he does a very prestigious waddle.
Umbra like having to like pinch himself, bite his tongue, tug on his ears to like stop himself from like calling it out or laughing. It's just like bards give me strength, like
Okay.
my self-inspiration to not break.
I need to go and refill my coffee really quickly because I'm really thirsty. And my current coffee tastes like soap. So I can't drink any more of that. I will shut down my camera, but I will leave you guys up if you would like to talk to everybody. How long do I have left on Stream Raiders? 5 minutes. Yeah, I'll be back. If anybody asks, I'll be back.
Yeah, you're good. You're good.
See you in a few.
Even if you right. Can
I'm
I
gonna
just
go
say,
to the loo, I think.
while people are gone and doing everything, the absolute like I had to bite my tongue to stop myself from doing the Borat like my wife thing, and everyone kept saying my wife, and it's like a Pavlovian response for me. It was so fucking hard to just like not just call and respond every time someone said my wife. And I'm not gonna give in, because if I give in now, I'm gonna keep wanting to say it. So we're gonna try and not give in. But it's there. It's there. The absolute urge. It's kind of funny. But anyway, for those in chat who aren't already following, if we do this every other Thursday, so it won't be next Thursday, but it'll be the Thursday after. Be sure to drop a follow if you don't already. I'm going to promote streamers stream while they are away. So be sure to follow. Sparrow puts a lot of time and effort into these. So thank you for following. Classic Granto, very sweet of you. Sparrow puts a lot of efforts into these for us. Yeah, so if you want to keep watching, you're liking what you like, we do it fortnightly. So yeah, but no, thank you so much for following. We're very excited to continue on this journey. We need more D&D channel point redeems. If you're in the Discord, which I will just re-promote really quick, we live shitpost during our session for everyone to see. But if we do have a suggestions area, so if you have any ideas on the kind of redeems that you would potentially want for the D&D stream specifically, feel free to put them in there. And Sparrow is more than happy to like take on people's suggestions and see how things work. So if you have anything specific that you wanted to like add in, by all means, throw it in there, and I'll let her know that I mentioned that. So I'm sure she'll see these messages when she comes back anyway. But yeah, very fun. The Discord. Yeah, I love these games. They're great. It's just fun to play Umbra because I've never played a character quite as chaotic. Usually, I'm more of a stickler, or I play someone that has a very like strong moral code. So it's kind of fun to be like, this boy is kind of questionable, and we're all here. I'm glad that everyone else seems to be for it too. But I hope you all in chat are having a lovely day or evening. I'm not sure what time zones you're in, but I hope you're having a lovely day so far. While everyone else is gone, feel free to grab a drink, grab a snack, stretch your legs, or just stretch in general if you need to.
I just say how absolutely lucky I feel that we are not playing on camera.
It's kind of, I don't want to say I'm taking credit, but when we first kind of were planning doing these streams, I was like, do we have to be on camera? Because in my own streams, I PNG tube, so I was like,
Yeah,
I
same.
know a program. Can we like, if we make assets, can I just like make the assets so we don't have to like appear on camera? So sometimes I'm like, I'm sorry, you don't see our live slug reaction, but you get our shit posting instead.
Which is just as good, but also I know some
good.
of the expressions that I've made this session so far.
Hi, I'm back.
I'm so glad that you guys did not have to see it.
Oh, Classic Granzo, thank you for the follow. Hi. Sorry about that.
Yeah. While you guys were gone, I was saying that the absolute like I had to bite my tongue because you all kept saying my wife.
My wife.
No, and I don't want to give into it, but like I have like the it's like the pressure in like the back of your brain where it's like the absolute urge to just like bore at my wife. But, like you guys kept saying it, and they're just like, don't give in, because like it's supposed to be like we're talking. The RP, don't say it, don't think it,
don't say it, don't say it, don't say it, don't say it, don't say it.
I'm worried that if I give in now, I'm gonna like
not be able to undo it.
That will open the floodgates. So I'm gonna like, continue to like bite my tongue.
Oh, okie dokie. Let's get back into this, shall we? He takes you around the corner to a rather small hole-in-the-wall pub. It's decent enough, but you don't think it's gonna. You don't think it's gonna have too many. The pub is called. 1 second. Where is it? Huh?
Wow, so many units.
Oh, holy shit! Welcome back.
Placing all your units.
Holy shit!
Hello?
Thank you. Taeves being back. Fuck yeah! And Shadow for it. Welcome back. Quite a few returners. Lovely to see y'all. Thank you for being here. Okay. Where is my pub names? What is this? I have a list and I can't find it. I am 100% trying to find, like, doing control find.
One person, so it's like, what's the name of this? And
oh no.
Lovingly, it's our job to make things difficult.
Yeah. Okay. No, I've got it. I've got it.
Later and put it in resource.
No, I've got it. It is called the Woozy Sailor. And
I love that.
It has a particularly. You'd think that a place called the Woozy Sailor would have some form of like sailor imagery. Instead, it just appears to be a puking mermaid. You're not sure if that's how it started, or if that's how it's going to continue. But the sign is quite worn, the paint kind of chipped away. And as you open the door, the clientele inside are kind of decent, but not particularly any distinctive class. You know what I mean? Like there's no highborn, but there's no lowborn either. It's kind of middling. The bartender, however, towards the back appears to be this young half-elf with sort of cropped red hair. And you see it's kind of tied up at the back, but the sides are cropped in around her face. She's got these brilliant green eyes, and she kind of just looks up at you. And as she's about to greet you, her eyes fall on Highwind. Out. My good lady, I just want to talk with my friends, my new, brilliant new friends. Aren't we friends? And he's kind of like gesturing towards you. And unless your new friends are going to pay for your tab, out. What's a matter of tab between friends? Come on.
It's probably not the best place to have a conversation.
No. This is a perfect place. It's low budget, and there's not going to be too many people here that are going to remember us because they're very, very drunk. Besides. Yes?
Mr. Highwater, can you just tell us where to look? Your missing fiancé.
If I knew where my missing fiancé was, I would be there. No. You know, my father always told me that women were dangerous and that they were tricksters, but she was different. We met at the Pleasure House. You know, the one up on Chantry Lane? So pretty. Amelie. Just gorgeous. And we fell in love, and it was brilliant. And then she just disappeared. And I'm very worried about her.
I see.
If anything, she's probably gone back. Well, not gone back, but if anything, it was something to do with those damned... Well, I don't like to say it, but not everyone at those pleasure houses are as decent as my Amelie. Perhaps they had something to do with it. Jealous of her moving up in the world.
Umber is like
Well-
starting to visibly shake at this point, and is, like you see like the vein popping in his head at the mention of that. He's starting to like clench his hands together and like trying to remain calm for the rest of the group, but like he kind of shoots a glance towards Theala and is like trying to portray that this guy is now on very thin fucking ice to
Yeah.
him.
Well,
Theala
now
is
that
just
we
like,
now that we have a good place to start, we can look into it. You should probably hang tight in the meantime,
Oh.
Mr. Highwater.
You know what you could do? You could talk to that damned lawkeeper. He didn't... They investigated, but they didn't do anything. He refuses to investigate further. You could talk to him.
What was the lawkeeper's name, sir?
1 second. That's fine. I've got this. Totally cool.
You could just say that I make a note.
Yeah, you make a note of his name while I try and find the fucker.
Okay.
It's Barry B. Benson. We've solved it.
No. Hold on. I'll find him.
Real lawyer Barry B. Benson.
oh.
What is wrong with
So he
me
said
doing
he
names
said
and
that
not finding them? Anyway. Sorry.
He said the brothel was on Chantry Lane.
Yes. There are multiple throughout the city, so you'd be able to find one pretty much anywhere. They have outposts. They're one of the more freely disseminated groups, I guess. That's not the way I wanted to phrase that. I just meant that they have a lot of outposts in the city.
Yeah.
Because highborn, lowborn, everyone is a client.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
What happened the last day you saw her?
Well, and he kind of scratches his head, and there's this, like, you get the feeling that this man needs to, like, shut down the rest of his processes to think. Just for a moment. Well, she... In the morning, and he gets this kind of smirk on his face, and then, well, I went to a very important business meeting, and when I got back, everything was gone. Well, not everything. The safe was open and the important valuables were gone.
Did it appear as though your safe had been broken open, or
Well, it must have been.
or was it undamaged?
Must have been. They must have been a very tricksy thief. I don't really know the details. The lawkeeper investigated it. Wouldn't tell me nothing either.
You said your house was full of people at the moment?
Well, it should be. I don't know. Father's supposed to have people around, so my section of the wing is well, it's my own house on the estate, so you could probably get in there on your own.
The
The lawkeepers, though, might have the keys.
Very well. I think we have enough to work with for the time being, Lord Highwater.
Thank you. Thank you for taking me seriously. My poor Amelie must be somewhere. I'm very worried for her.
I will nod and I will I will try my absolute hardest to give a reassuring smile.
Roll a performance check. No, I'm kidding.
Right.
God.
I say we make for Chantry Lane.
Okay.
Yes, let's set off right away, and I'll kind of turn on my heel smartly and immediately leave, and get outside and breathe in that fresh air.
Before you leave, the bartender, hey, you take your trash with you. And she's gesturing to Lord Highwind. You brought him in, you take him out.
Yeah, Taeves just offering a hand, come.
The brew here isn't that good anyway. Rat's piss, they call it. And there's this thump as this loud mug hits the table. The fuck you just say?
We're just leaving, thank you.
And you kind of glance over it, and it is this massive fucking half-orc, just built like a brick shit house. Pale green skin, these long tusks, and he looks pissed. You see the bartender, she holds up a hand. It's alright, Brick. They're just leaving. Aren't you?
As the Arla leads him out, I'll give the bartender a concerned look and mouth, "I'm sorry."
Yeah. Yeah.
It's alright. He's just a prick. If you come back without him, be happy to serve you. But if he ever walks in here again, Brick is gonna throw him through a window.
Good.
I'm going to nod very profusely and I'm zipping my mouth closed.
Oh.
And Theala is just going to mage hand a gold piece to the counter.
She does a kind of a drop respect, kind of like a curtsy, but not the full curtsy, just gestures of it. Much appreciated. You can definitely come back, especially if you pay like that.
It was a one-time thing, honey.
Okay. Can we find an opportunity to ditch this?
Oh yeah, no. He starts rambling on about the kind of beer that only his house would have. And you realize he's not really expecting, he doesn't think you're going to contribute to the conversation, so he's not listening for you. So you imagine he's just gonna talk and talk and talk, so you could probably just fucking leave and he will be none the wiser.
Good! I'm gonna immediately start to go off in whatever direction we were told that we needed to set off in. He is speeding away. This road runner.
Road runner, just fucking
just pounding away.
So once we're out of earshot, I'm going to say under my breath to Umbra. pleasure house is a euphemism for a brothel, isn't it?
Yes. I'm more than happy to do this part myself if you would rather stay outside during any investigation.
Oh, I don't mind. I'm willing to suspect that he hired a working girl for the night, then she made off with his valuables in the morning.
It was either that or the fact that even if maybe she was forced into a potential marriage and was able to make her escape with his things to secure her in future. I wouldn't blame her. It's highly uncommon for highborn folk to even do that thing outside of this city.
Normally I'd feel bad over something like that, but I can't really feel bad for him.
Oh no. If it turns out that she made off with all of his stuff, then good for her.
Okay. I found the name. It is Elenis. And you recognize it because it's the pale elf that you saw earlier, the lawkeeper, that you saw in the confrontation with the thief, if you remember that all the way. Well, not the thief, the merchant who had been robbed, and he was very boredly saying, "You'll need to take that up with the appropriate guild, sir."
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
I remember.
Yeah.
You did meet him later, but that's the one you remember. Knowing you, that's the bit you remember.
Maybe. Maybe a little bit.
Am I wrong?
No.
Yeah, that's what I fucking thought. Okay. So you make your way towards a pleasure house. Let me get my notes up for that.
Like the whole time they're walking and the whole time they're saying this, do you remember like God, the only anime that's coming up to me is like Oran Host Club, where like they would be talking about somebody who was standing in the background and every horrible thing they say is like an arrow shooting through them.
Yeah.
Everything they're saying, it is happening to Theala as they walk.
Oh god, that's funny.
We probably ought to be tentative about this. It's likely that he's already visited the pleasure house at Chantry Lane and bothered them to no end about it.
I'm already trying to formulate what we might say that would immediately get us potentially denied any access to being able to find any sort of leads. But it seems like she's been very difficult.
I imagine we are in agreement that we're not going to help him find Emily.
Oh, no way. No way at all.
Okay, good.
Yeah. Okay. So coming up, you make your way down Chantry Lane. There is a bunch of thoroughfare, people milling back and forth, but finding the pleasure house is pretty easy. It is the most elaborately decorated building. Its doors wide open, almost beckoning, and at the front is this golden-skinned Asimir, eyes glowing, skin decorated with tattoos. He's currently wearing he's decent, but there's not a lot left to the imagination here. Lots of silks and robes, kind of like jewelry and everything, and he's moving in such a way as to draw attention.
Looking over at Umbra, like Umbra's design, like bestie.
I'm really sorry. I realized like halfway through my description, I'm like, shit, I'm describing Umbra.
You're just describing Umbra's outfit.
I'm so sorry. It wasn't intentional.
I love it.
They start having a dance off in the middle of the street.
No, it's the communication. Umbra sways the silks and bangles a little bit, and he sways back, and
Have you seen
rapport.
Have you seen the vibing with the Jello thing? Just the with the slime. You just see the slime doing it too.
We're just vibing.
He smiles at you, bright and warm and welcoming. Hello, darlings. Welcome in. Can I tempt you to join us in the House of Roses?
I'm gonna look at Umbra like
Now it's
I
my
want to
turn.
give you a look like, do you have a plan? Do you have an idea? Or are you just admiring the sexy man?
I mean, don't call me out like this. I'm gonna put me on blast for sure. Okay. Kind of like gives back a very own like practice smile. I can see Sparrow kind of dying on screen. I'm sorry. Sparrow.
Yes, same.
I choked in my coffee. I wasn't going to say anything.
And kind of like just like just gives like a very like warm smile. Thank you for the very kind warm welcome. I'm afraid that we won't be able to use your services today, but we've unfortunately come at the behest of someone else, and I must establish it might not be the most pleasant of conversations, but fortunately, where we've landed ourselves. So
I'd hasten not to say behest as such.
Yes, it's more of a how do I put this in kind of terms? And I kind of like start like playing with my ears a little as I try and like not completely defame the man, because we need to still try and gather some form of information. But for any information gathered, I'm happy to adequately compensate. I won't just ask for you to just simply kiss and tell without any form of payment.
Well, aren't you the most intriguing little morsels? Go on. Ask your questions. I guarantee no answers. That's not my job. But I can hear you out.
What was the name of the guy? Umbra's already like chosen to not remember his name.
I'm
Cecil
gonna
Highwater.
jump in if that's okay.
Yeah, you can lead this bit. Otherwise, Umbra's gonna flirt too much.
I'm sure you've probably already met the drunkard who's wandering the streets asking about his missing wife.
You're gonna have to narrow that down, morsel. Do you know how many men come here looking for their missing wives, only to find comfort with the nearest, well, companion? It's a story they tell, darling. You're going to have to be more specific.
I am going to I only have 2 gold pieces. I'm going to surreptitiously
Wait, let me see how many
slide.
I've got for you.
Oh,
Let me check. Let me check my ones. I've got 9, so I can dish out like more if we need more.
I'm gonna surreptitiously slide in 2 gold pieces. I will say, a very awkward, pompous man named Cecil Highwater seems to believe one of the girls who worked here was actually supposed to be marrying him, and now he's causing a disturbance, saying that someone has kidnapped his wife.
He takes the coins and you know that trick where they flick them through the knuckles? He does that. You notice his jaw has hardened. There is a edge to him now. Oh, him. Yes, I know who you're talking about, and I know he was looking for Emily. Poor thing. He is, well, up until a few weeks ago. Well, 10 weeks ago, I guess. No, not even that. Must have been less. He hasn't been around in a while, ever since he met her. She works here. Worked here, anyway. He loved our facility. Came here every week. Some new sob story about how his father didn't appreciate him, and how he was definitely going to make it rich. We hear it all. Emily, though, had patience. She seemed nice enough. Thank you for the follow. And he kind of looks around and looks at you, Umbra. I don't mean to be offensive, but are you in the trade, as it were?
With a little like soft sigh, I kind of cross my arms across my chest and like I guess like cock my hip out a little. Used to be, not so much in more recent times. I've slightly changed profession, but I was for longer than I would be willing to admit. But yes.
Oh yes, you should tell him about your days in the Bard College.
I kind of like.
I will say,
give
completely
an upturned-
completely oblivious to what you're actually doing.
I'll kind of give like an upturned kind of like incline of my head slightly towards the man in particular to kind of be like, you know, like almost like in a way that's like, you know, when like you kind of indicate that was very much like a, you know, like
Don't talk about it, but yeah.
Don't talk about like I know, we know.
Yeah,
like,
we're on the same
communication,
page.
We know.
Yeah.
We're on the same page here.
Okay. Understanding kind of graces across his face. I'd love to hear about the Bard College, but look, you folks seem nice. Like, really nice. Like, people don't normally treat... Well, they treat us nice, don't get me wrong, but people don't usually come to me for conversation. So, let me give you a warning. He's not a nice man. And if Amelie ran, if that's what she's done, I say more power to her. 'Cause he gives me the creeps. You notice the set of his jaw, there's more he wants to say, but he's also like, I'm on the street, there are people around, and if I get caught shit-talking a client, I'm gonna get in a lot of trouble.
Can I like lean in slightly and say, is there any way we could maybe move somewhere a little bit more private? I know this isn't exactly the actual best conversation for us to be having so wide out in the open. I'm happy for us to cover a room if that's what it takes to gather the rest of this information.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, it's pretty expensive for a room, but...
I will look hopefully at Fiala.
Fiala, who is just like dying under this hood.
But also, I'm pretty sure you're the one that's the most minted out of all of us. Hello, point left. No, how much for a room for?
But just the room, loves, it's 10 gold. But...
Does anyone else have one?
Look,
I just gave him all of my gold.
listen.
need one more
And he holds up his hands.
Oh.
Listen, this, I can't really talk about it, you know? But, you know what? You look like you would really enjoy the company of one of our elves. She doesn't take many clients anymore, but I'm sure if you were to rent a room, she would happily clean it for you. You might even be able to talk to her for a few minutes.
I kind of give like
I'm gonna
a
look-
like, you know.
I look a bit
you know,
quizzical. And I look at
kind of-
Umbra.
I kind of give like a, like the kind of like playing into it, kind of doing the thought and kind of slightly a little bit like an octave a little bit louder, just so like, you know, to establish to any potential prying ears, because you know the city has, you know, things everywhere, everyone's listening. Well, I like clasp my hands together. That sounds like a most wonderful idea. And I kind of look towards Theala and give like a very like sickly sweet smile. Theala, my dearest sweet, you
My
have
good
one
friend.
more gold
My
I
very,
need
my very,
for
my
it.
very lovely rich friend.
My very lovely, sweet friend decorated in that gorgeous looking coat of yours. You don't happen to have one more gold piece that I can give to
I'm gonna
the
cry, holy
man
shit.
here, do you?
1 gold, sure, I do. And just not even looking at Umbra, they are not looking at anything, they'll just reach and hand them a gold.
I will, with the rest now have acquired 10 gold. I will, kind of, in like a
Just
very
take
like
that
sweet
off
way.
my inventory.
In like a nice like way, I kind of grab like the guy's like hand quite softly, and then with my other one put like the gold in and like give his hand like a knowing like sweet squeeze. Thank you. It's a pleasure doing business.
Okay. Go on in. I'm sure you'll have a lot of fun. And he gestures towards someone inside. And it's this absolutely stunning tiefling. Like, if someone made a deal to be beautiful, this is what she would look like. You know, very tall, like Jessica Rabbit-esque, but she's got these long horns and a long tail. And she is dressed in this beautiful, like, green, almost like sachet of silks. Hello, darlings. I hear you've been given access to one of our special rooms. Would you follow me?
Of course. And I will start to follow. And I'll kind of like try and like indicate for like the other two to just like stick close by.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lest you be accidentally snatched away by any other clients, you know. Just stick close, you know. Holds Jasper's hand, like, don't worry, you won't get lost. Don't worry.
Yeah.
The inside of this place is plush with reds and silks and expensive fur. It is decadence wrapped in sin. It is, as you walk through, there is the faintest scent of roses here and there. Never obtrusive, never painful, but always aware. You could probably listen if you wanted to, but I wouldn't recommend it, as this appears to be a very occupied place. And she kind of guides you down this hallway. You imagine that the doors are quite soundproof. You hear the click of her heels upon the wooden floor. Now, she's going to turn around. Do have fun, dears, and, just a word of warning. And her face gets deadly serious. You hurt my girl. You'll answer to me. Understand?
I give like a very like knowing, nodding, like
Brilliant.
understanding. Of course.
Brilliant. Then do have fun, darlings. And she's going to walk off. She'll be in a moment.
I'll kind of like turn to the other two and just say, will you get anything misjudged or misplaced? I know I'm just irresistible and oh so flirty. We're not here to actually do anything of a more risque nature. We are just simply here to gather the information, and we can leave and go back to the inn and plan our next step. I just want to make sure that I make that very much clear, especially because I know that you are probably still considering how I acted back at the manor with the Rogues Guild, wherever the building thing was. It's a bit hazy now. But I thought best just...
Oh, well, thank goodness for that then. I was wholly unprepared for that kind of...
So you guys head in?
Yeah.
Yep.
The room is beautiful, plush, and gorgeous. It is exactly what you expect of a house like this. You notice that it is well cared for. There is attention to detail here. Everything is in good repair. Everything is solid. And that's as far as I'm going to go with that description. It's just a well-made room. And it takes only a few minutes for a very timid to come at the door.
Like, the Thiala still has like the cloak of elvenkind that they've had on and the hood up the whole time. Whenever they sit down, they make sure that that is the only fabric that touches this furniture.
Okay.
You're gonna look at me like you will get my dry cleaning bill.
The door opens. Excuse me. I was told to come here.
Oh, yes, please come in and...
She steps in, and for a moment, you're taken. She is gorgeous. She is a beautiful elf with long blonde hair, the kind of like honey blonde that you see in meads, and that kind of like that brilliant sunshiny blonde. She's svelte, dressed not in as revealing clothes as you would expect, but in more durable clothes, like she is actually a maid. And then you see it. The left side of her face, obscured somewhat by her hair, is a mixture of scars and burns that travel down the side of her throat.
Oh, Umber is feeling all kinds of emotions right now. He kind of like his gaze kind of like softens slightly before he kind of like respectfully like keeps his gaze very much off to like make sure it doesn't accidentally like unsettle her.
It's okay.
Um,
You can look. I'm not ashamed.
I don't suppose your as my colleague informed you about why we're here.
You want to know about Lord Cecil Highwater. I know him well.
Specifically,
And she gestures to her face. He left me a permanent reminder. He was blacklisted a little while ago. 2 weeks, I think. Thankfully, the guild looks after me. They're paying for healing, so hopefully this will fade away. But the clerics are not particularly hopeful. He used some sort of acid with his weaponry. That does a lot more damage than you might think. So, anyway, we blacklisted him because he was violent. I don't know what Emily saw in him. I just hope that she made it out okay. No one's heard from her since she went missing 10 days ago.
if it's any consolation, I suspect from what he's told us that she's all right. Apparently, when she went missing, a number of his valuables went missing with her.
Oh, that is good to hear. I've been so worried, you see, and honestly, if she could get anything out of the old bastard, she deserves it. I am worried, though. It's not like her to just disappear, even if she had stolen things. I mean, the guild, they look after you, you know? You're part of the family. I mean, in any other city, and she gestures to the scarring, this would have been the end of me. I wouldn't have been able to work. But no, I get paid, and I have lodging, and they look after me here, and they protect us here. So if she needed help, she should have come here. The fact that she hasn't scares me. That's why I agreed to talk to you.
She might be in danger from someone worse.
That's what worries me. I know she keeps a diary. It's an old habit that she never broke, the silly girl. But if it's anywhere, it would be at his house. Unless she took it with her, I guess. Have you been to their house? His house?
Yeah.
No, I wasn't keen to be honest.
Understandable. He's a pompous
Sure, I can
prick.
find a way.
Listen, if you do find something, if you do find Emily, please let her know that we are thinking of her, and that the rose is always welcome. It's always home if she needs it. No judgment. Especially if she doesn't want to do this anymore. She's still welcome here. I mean, I don't do this anymore. I clean. And anyway.
Who should we tell her that the message is from?
Dahlia. She'd know me as Dahlia.
Not.
I have one more question, I guess, if anyone else doesn't have anything more. I mean, the information you've given us already has been more than valuable, and thank you for taking the time to actually speak with us. But I do have one more question, if you wouldn't mind.
Of course.
I kind of like shoot a small look to the rest of the group and then kind of turn back and like take a slight steadying breath. If, hypothetically, something seems to happen to the Lordling, and people started asking questions, would you pretend that we had never been here and we'd never had this conversation?
There is a smile to her face, and it speaks of understanding. As far as I'm concerned, the room was empty. I cleaned it, we moved on. They must have just chickened out, as far as I'm aware. Although, and she smiles, Davina would be most pleased should you find out what happened to Amelie. Jasper and Thiel, you recognize this name. Davina is the new head of the Pleasure Guild. She is the one that took the Pleasure Guild and usurped the Entertainers Guild under her rulership.
Can I do one more thing? And like, bearing in mind, NPC can refuse if want, but can I just like tentatively step a little bit closer to her and like go to raise my hand to like, just in kind of like a, like, I don't expect it to necessarily do anything, but like just do like a level 1, like first level spell slot of like cure wounds, just like ever so gently, like towards her face.
Okay.
In just a kind of like solidarity of like you know when someone like wants to give someone a hug when they understand like the sheer pain.
Yeah,
And it's
yeah.
just like a kind of like a I'm sorry and I don't, this probably won't help, but like just to know like.
Do you tell her that's what you're doing?
You know. I'll go, I'll like step forward and I'll go to raise my hand and then I'll kind of like hesitate for a second and say, healing magic has never really been my forte, unfortunately. But not that I'm fully expecting it to do anything, but if you would allow me, I would be happy to at least attempt a small heal if it would progress anything along for you. Maybe save you a few extra coin.
That's so kind of you. Sure. And she's going to curiously bring her hands up and twist. And you feel this sudden shudder as this shield around her vanishes.
Ooh. So if I hadn't said it and ruined, I would have been fucking shocked.
Davina makes sure that we're all safe, and she shows you the inside of her wrist have these bracelets and these red gemstones, and as she's done that, she's deactivated the shield. Normally it doesn't come down, but I mean, if you try anything and you hurt me, and she kind of gestures, you probably will have a visit from the assassins.
Don't worry. I'll rest a little bit easier knowing that you guys are at least well protected here from the one that runs the. It's good to know. And I'll kind of like give like a little bit of like an awkward like, this is the first time that Umbra is very much out of his element in this conversation. And instead I'm actually gonna do it at a level 2 because Umbra is feeling very much moved right now. So he's gonna use a level 2 spell slot. Thank you.
Oh. Okay. Go ahead and roll.
I don't know if I need.
You need to tell me how much you heal.
Yeah, 8. Not as much as I wanted it to, but.
You notice
we'll take
the
it.
magic settles against her skin like glitter and seems to seep under the scar. You know, some of the redness seems to fade. Some of the angry-looking scarring seems to ease. You're not sure how much you've done, but you've certainly moved healing forward by a couple of weeks at least.
I'm
Thank
sorry
you.
it's not more, but
You didn't have to, and I appreciate it. Thank you. And, well, you're always welcome if you want to just come around for a drink. I mean, you'll have to pay for them. There's no free drinks in here. Unless you're staff. And she kind of smiles. But if you can find Emily, I'll put in a good word with you. Well, with the mistress of the house, but maybe even Defina would find out. And she's a good friend to have.
I assure you we will do the best we can, to find out what happened and make sure that we can tell you exactly what happened and hopefully assure you that she's safe.
Thank you. You should... and she looks around. There's this faint buzzing in the air. Oh, time's up, I'm afraid. Sorry. And as she does, you see there's this faint shimmer. She doesn't repeat the gesture, but you see the shield comes back on its own. It seems like she can deactivate it for a limited time, but she doesn't seem to turn it off. And it will activate again on its own. Thank you, though. And good luck. If you do get the chance to punch that old prick, give him one for me, would you?
I give like a very like hearty chuckle. Oh, I assure you I will. I'll do one for everyone in here if you tell me how many people there are.
Well, and there's this moment of like where she's like, if I tell you how many people are here, you'll kill him.
That's the plan, sweetie.
And she kind of thinks better of it. As fun as it would be, there are over, 70 of us working here, and I don't want him to die. Well, at this location, we have breaks and people are assigned on shifts. So we all get equal shift. God. Sorry.
All right, you're right.
I'm good. Oh, okay. Anyway. Thank you. And good luck, yeah?
Thank you.
Thank you.
She kind of
And
curtsies.
I'll give like a very like polite kind of half bow and then kind of like go and turn to leave. Umbra's kind of a little bit not eager as in like to be rude, but he's just kind of ready to leave this the establishment.
Yeah. I think we ought to make ourselves scarce.
Okay. You head out, and you notice Rose is at the front. He does a small gesture of like, I hope you got what you needed. Hello and goodbye kind of thing. But he goes back to charming the customers. This very warm, welcoming presence all around him. What would you like to do now, my friends? You have 2 avenues available to you at the moment. 3, technically. First, you could go seek out the lawkeeper, see if he's got any information for you. Second, you could go and investigate the house. Or third, you could go and hunt down, Dickhead, and see if you can't beat some information out of him. I wouldn't recommend it, but that is an option to you as a free-thinking character.
Yeah. He did say that the lawkeepers might be able to grant us access to the house, so I think we go and see lawkeeper Alanis.
But how is I do want to check just because I've just seen the like haha mod view. Everyone good on time because we have been streaming for over 3 hours.
Holy shit.
So do you want to? I want to check in mostly on our sweet DDM because like me and like you and Theala because like for me and Jasper it's like almost 3 p.m. but I'm pretty sure it's very early for both of you guys. So.
Yeah.
We can call it here actually.
I was gonna say this could be a good place to close it if we want to close it before we like start a new investigation of the house. So I just thought that might be a good thing to like point out and be like.
No, thank you. I appreciate it. I didn't see it.
Time blindness, and you're having fun playing D&D, you know?
Yeah.
But
very real.
By quick.
But we've got our plan for next time, which will be to go to the lawkeepers and investigate the house. So I would probably say, Sparrow, please note that down, so because I might end up forgetting. I will like VOD check myself.
Good plans.
Yeah.
Okay, there we go.
Ooh, what a session!
Yeah.
Did you have fun, darlings?
Gradually adding to our list of slimy bastards what need killing.
Yeah.
Listen, I give
Amber has 2 lists. There's the silent
Yeah.
bastards that need killing, and then there's the hot bastards that need
What need something
TOS.
else? Yeah.
Because I mean,
The list of slaying and the list of slaying.
exactly. I'm just
Lay
list of
the
slaying.
dragon.
You've got them in, like, a little
Slay
notebook.
the dragon.
Yeah.
Lay the dragon. Slay the dragon.
Like how Jasper has a book where he like writes everything down. Umbra has a little book
Yeah.
that's split in the middle, like in half, and one half is the slaying, and the other half is
Yeah.
the slaying.
Yeah.
I'm imagining this is like a book that has a single page inside.
Legit. And it's like one on the front, one on the back, and it's just like a list on each side. That's all that's in that book. One
Oh
page.
man, that was a lot of fun.
You introduced way too many hot characters. Do it again, but like, holy shit, my heart.
Listen, right?
What?
I was talking with my sister because I was like, okay, so where do we go from here? Where do you think we should go from here? And she helps me and she kind of guides me through, and like bounces ideas with me. And she's like, what if you introduce them to the assassins? And I'm like, Umbra will die. Let's do it. And I'm like, you are aware that my players will shrimp over these characters. Well, I said the other one, but we'll shrimp over these characters. Like, yeah, that's the point. So I'm like,
you tell her in the kindest way, fuck you, but
Yes.
like also thank you.
yes.
Fuck
Oh,
you,
well.
affectionate.
Yeah, fuck you brackets are very affectionate. With
Oh,
love.
man. With love.
XOXO. Fuck you.
Oh man, this was fun. It's good to be back.
Yes, this was very good. Thank you for giving me a heart
Yeah.
attack for almost this entire session.
You're very welcome. I felt like you weren't getting enough
This is
attention
not
lately.
What I thought would happen.
I felt like
Thought would happen.
I felt like you needed to be drawn to the center just for a little bit. Although
A
I'm
treat.
I am ridiculously proud of how Millennia got introduced. I'm not gonna lie. I fucking love
so
her.
Cool. She's so cool. I love her. Umbra wants to be friends with her. Like, it would never happen, but like Umbra's like, oh well, I kind of want to be your bestie, and it won't happen, but I can dream.
Bestie, please.
Umbra just
well,
like,
I mean,
please
if-
be my sugar mama.
Well, I mean, if Umbra ends up getting on one of the drows, then he's already got an end, and then it's just like, oh, you just have to put up with me because I'm just family now. Hot emoji.
Okay, I need you
Oh, man.
like to consider very, very carefully. Do you want to be family with this group of assassins? I need you to understand what that will mean.
I mean,
But imagine,
Umbra takes care of himself.
Oh,
imagine being brother-in-law to the head of the Assassin's Guild.
That would be
Yeah, imagine the
level.
power you could have.
I would be. Umbra would just
Imagine
be
the
a god.
danger you would be in constantly.
Oh yeah.
Umbra's already in danger constantly. He's fine. He can handle himself.
He can handle himself.
Fine.
Okay, I'm going to start the battle early because we need to finish up. I apologize to everybody. But we need to do
Even
this.
need sleep.
There we go. Thank you for the units, my doves.
You're gonna be back tomorrow with.
Oh god, yeah. I am, and I got
It's an time event.
I got so much
Actually,
farming to do tomorrow. Fucking hell. I've got to do so much PvP.
I need to do the anniversary event on my OCE account, so you got to do that as well. There's two, by the way, one
Oh,
for
God.
a frame and one for a mount. So
A mount?
it's a whole story. Yeah,
get a
it's the
mount.
Phoenix mount.
Ah,
It's the cause of Bahamut mount.
Oh,
it's,
yeah.
it's a Phoenix.
I didn't know that.
You get Peepaw.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not one you ride. You literally turn into the Phoenix.
turn
It's
into a
very
Phoenix.
cool.
I need
very
this.
cool mount.
I need this in my
And the
life.
anniversary
Ooh.
adventure plate is also very pretty.
Yes.
All right. Well, I know
Also,
what I'm doing
the
tomorrow.
mount has a pet action. It's very cool. It's very cool. I won't say what the action is, so you can actually experience it like live slug reaction on stream. But it has an action bar and everything. It's pretty good. Also, the story. I will warn you. I did the one to get the mount. The storyline for the mount. It made me cry.
Oh no.
I was messaging with some people because we were doing it in a group. And I was just like, I'm not crying. Like,
I'm not crying. You're
I
crying.
just in my eyes. Like, full on, like.
If any of you are farming tomestones for the anniversary event, I might be around.
Yes.
DM
Come
me
say
what
hello.
servers you play on, please.
Yeah,
Yes.
please.
I need to know which
I don't know if you'd be in the
servers
OCE
you
ones, but
you
I am
play
on
in.
a different one, which I'm not going to say on stream. I'm like, wait.
I'm on a few, so if you let me know which, I will. Probably,
Okie
there's
dokie.
probably a chance that I have a character on on one of
Yeah.
them.
Okie dokie, I'm going to set us up with a raid. I really want to raid Chloe, because she's online at the moment. And I love her. She's so fun. I know she's not playing D&D, but...
One day we're gonna end this
right.
stream, and you're gonna look for somebody ready. You're like, "Oh, Space is streaming. What? How?"
Oh, yeah. Wait a second.
That's gonna happen one day.
I look forward to it. I love sending it. I would love to send love to you guys. Like, I would love to send all of, like, this love over your way. But none of you fuckers are streaming right now. You're not co-streaming with me. So, I can't.
Oh, but yeah, I wanted you to have all the people, so. Yeah.
Thank you for the session, Sparrow.
Thank you for being
Yes,
here.
that was awesome.
It was
Thank you very
so
much.
good.
I'm glad you
Yeah.
had fun. I was very nervous, but I'm really glad.
It was fantastic. I had a great time. Everyone now knows even more so, not just Amber,
Yeah.
but me, how much of a shrimp
Yeah.
I am. So you're welcome, everyone.
It's okay. It's okay. You're just going through your metamorphosis.
Forever.
All right, I'm gonna queue up the raid. There we go. And I'm going to do my outro. I will be live tomorrow at 8. I think it's 8 or 8:30. You'll find out if you follow me on Twitter or are in my Discord. I'll be playing Final Fantasy Online. Taeves Tall Tales will be back in 2 weeks. So on the 14th, I believe, give or take. But again, you'll find out. Do feel free to drop a follow to my lovely castmates.
Yes.
Can you do the shout-outs for people?
Oh, yeah, give me a second.
And you'll see their details in chat in a second. And yeah, I think that's all I need to talk about. So, thank you all so much for watching. I'm gonna wait until you've done the shout-outs for peeps.
Let me...
Maybe it's because I'm doing the raid.
If you want to see a shit post during session and what we all laugh about, join the Discord.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
fucking hilarious.
Oh wait, maybe it's...
It's alright.
I'm just gonna see if I...
I'm gonna-
normally...
I'm gonna cancel the raid because it's nearly gonna go, so I'll cancel it really quickly. Hey! Fuck yeah.
It's not showing up their names, so I'm just writing them out because they're on the screen.
You better
We're all playing Dungeons and Dragons last, guys.
you better do yours. I'm looking at you. I will fucking do it for you.
don't-
There we go.
I did it wrong. I did it wrong.
I
I
have
did the
to
wrong
stay.
one. I did my own wrong. I forget that I have to have the underscore because
Oh
so
my dear friend.
Wow.
I was watching that. I was like,
Let me wait.
Wait a
Go to
second.
the one person that stole my username.
Alrighty, now I will set up the raid.
Are you sure it's only 3 p.m. there?
Yeah, it's officially PM.
Yeah.
Okay.
But, I mean, I am running on 2.5 hours of sleep, so.
Thank you guys so much for watching. I will see you all tomorrow. Remember to drink water, eat food, take your meds, and do not, under any circumstances, lick the demon that you summoned to piss off your neighbors, because as we all know, consent is indeed consexy. And I will see you all in the next one.
She said the thing. Let's go.
Bye!
Bye.